think we're good. Hello, friends and fellow gamers. I'm That Zero, and today we are back with episode 15 of Capray's Last Cloudia podcast. We are unfortunately missing one of our hosts for today, DK. But, Jawline's just going to have to do. How you doing, Jawline?
Yeah, what up? Suffering from success? Nah, I got a little bit under the weather, but I'm still here, unlike DK. So,
Yeah, had some obligations with friends to handle, so I respect it. Some new fun stuff in the game. We got our New Year's update started, so that's always fun to see what's coming with that. And we got new unit. We got a bunch of new event stuff to talk about. So, is there anything in particular you'd like to start with today, Ja?
I don't think there's anything in particular, because to be honest, there isn't really much that was added. But so I guess any starting point would be fine. I don't know if you got something listed already. We just go off of
Yeah,
that.
sure. All right. I mean, let's go ahead and we're just gonna go ahead and hop into the new unit, I suppose, because I mean it's always a fun place to start. So let's go ahead and pull up the girl. Except I gotta log in again. Thanks, game. Thanks. Great. Good time.
Don't worry, I got it on my screen. It's fine.
Beautiful. All right. Do you want to start going through some of the stuff about her?
Uh, sure. Well, I mean, they can't really see it on your end, right? We'll just
No.
wait for you to.
Okay.
We'll just wait for you. No big deal.
Sure.
Do anything special for New Year's?
Nah, not really.
Did you get drunk?
No, not really. No.
Man, sounds
Just
boring.
yeah,
It's okay. I didn't do anything either.
yeah. Just family stuff, chilling. Played some more Bloodborne. It's been my latest addiction, so getting back into those type of games has been a lot of fun. So
Did you beat it yet?
no, not even close. I've mostly just been playing when I can stream, which is only once or twice a week anyway. So
Oh,
yeah.
true.
All right. So new unit and arc, etc. Sarah. Let's talk about her.
Mm. Well, she's a sorcerer type. I figured with the hate that she had for gods, she might have been a god type, but sorcerer makes sense. Her sprite's pretty cool. I like her sprite.
Yeah, I think they nailed it. I think she matches her art really well, which sometimes can be hit or miss on whether or not those go. And yeah, I think they did a good job.
Her attribute resistance, I think, isn't it kind of seems like she's the first one to have positive in everything and the negative in one?
Yeah,
Or am
well,
I missing someone?
no, I think that we've seen this type of thing, but I did notice something strange, which is usually things are in really definitive archetypes, right? So like sometimes
Right.
if you're a support unit, it's like rainbow elements are all up, and then dark and light are down, or one of them is down, or like sometimes that's what dark or light units might have, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess that's more so the thing is like light and dark units or neutral units. That's usually something like that. Like you're either really weak in a lot of things, or like slightly weak, like -10, like -5, -10 in a lot of things, and then you're really, really resistant in like light or dark or something.
Yeah.
Or you're really weak in light or dark. This is the first time where she's not an ice unit, but her weakness is thunder,
That
which
makes
is
no.
which
I
is
don't know if it's
weird.
lore wise.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
it's
hope so.
lore.
Honestly, I like it because like it's just I don't know. It's different. We see so much of like a similar cookie cutter for like base resistances that feel
Yeah.
predictable to me. So like just seeing this, I think sets a decent precedent of oh maybe we'll start seeing some weird things. Like maybe we'll see a fire unit that's like also resistant to ice or something. They're made to like they burn so hot that like ice can't even touch them or something. But they're really
Yeah.
susceptible to something else. Like maybe they're a really like super good character, so the darkness is really good against them or something instead. I don't know, but I like that it's
Pretty
different.
interesting though.
Yeah, it caught me
Yeah,
off
it's
guard.
interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, overall though, like that's really good resists overall. Like it's really solid for base, like 10 to 15 in a whole bunch of these, especially being
Mm-hmm.
15 in fire and 20 in dark. Like especially for like arena, like that's
Yeah,
anti-League and Roy
Roy,
territory,
Lug, and all that.
Yeah.
But then if
So
you run into Lance,
Yeah, you run into Lance, you run into uh, swimsuit Alice, who's pretty prominent
Mm-hmm.
too. Yeah, she'll be able to nuke him, but yeah. Either way, though, pretty good. I like that resistance spread. It's surprising. So,
Pretty interesting.
yep.
As for the ailment resistances, I'm surprised she's not nil to silence. She's neutral to poison, neutral to blind, neutral to stun. Then she's resistant to silence, curse, and then nil to illness. But I'm honestly surprised she's not nil to uh, silence as well.
Yeah,
I don't know what you think about that.
um, it's standard at this point. We see it all the time. Usually we would see like nil in that, and then we'd see a weakness someplace else. They opted to, instead of doing that, just give her a total of +4 positives, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that mad at it, especially because it's so easy to put almost any standard gear on a caster and give them an increased silence up. Like, so much stuff has silence up, and usually it doesn't matter. It's redundant anyway.
Yeah,
So, like, she's gonna
yeah,
hit it
but I
without you
was just
trying. So,
surprised.
yeah.
That's all.
Yep. All right. Hold on. Let's catch up with chat here. What's up, everybody? Yeah. Happy New Year. Thanks for being here.
Oh yeah,
DKless
happy New
podcast.
Year's,
Yes, I
guys.
know. We are all excited to not have DK here. He is in chat, but we can deal with that at least because we can't hear him talk, so we're fine. Oh man.
What else?
Yeah.
So her stats, her mind just got really high mind.
Yeah.
Obviously, because she's focused on heal. Well, she part of her is focused on healing, but yeah, pretty high mind. I'd say her HP is what, average or below average
I would say average to high. I think.
for a sorcerer, or just in
Yeah,
general.
for us, for a sorcerer, I think it's pretty good. I mean, granted, we need to also remember we're now at an E5 standard that usually has like +1000 for E5. So
Hmm.
for like old terms and comparing older units, this is basically I would assume like 4600. I don't have her E5, so I don't know if you get 1000 or 1500 from E5ing her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, when we consider units like Senku have 2000 base, granted he's the worst in the game for that, but
Yeah.
still it can be much worse. So like if somebody has like 5000 or more, I consider them doing pretty all right.
Okay.
So
Cool. Yeah, the most notable thing for me is just the mind, so she'll definitely be able to heal
oh yeah.
really well.
Yeah. As we get into her kit, I think we'll see. I think she's probably on Theria levels. If we just look at straight healing, like you're not gonna have a
Yeah,
problem
healing.
max
Yeah,
healing people. Just
for
straight healing,
sure.
she's one of the best in the game, for sure.
You want to go over the abilities?
Yeah, do it.
So just from the trailer that I saw, the Ether Strike, I mean, just long range, medium area light combo attack, boost damage against god types. I don't really see people using this, even if you wanted to meme just for DPS, I don't know. You'd have to. I don't know how well she scales off of. I'm assuming she scales off of int, so I don't know how easily you'd be able to make that cap. But I
Mhm.
don't see a reason why you would even use this to begin with.
Yeah.
Maybe just like to, I don't know, interrupt maybe an arena
Yep.
if you decide to use her in arena.
Yep, that's the only thing I could really see for it. The things that I've seen people talk about, it doesn't have good enough scaling to make things work, even against god types. It's just not good. It's just
Oh, really?
it's bad damage. Yeah.
Wow, okay. So
That's
useless
what I've heard.
skill, nice.
Yeah, I haven't tested it myself, but yeah, it's basically just there for CC. Which for CC,
Gotcha.
it's not bad though, because it does create an area effect on the target as well as you. So it's kind of like Gen's S1, where like
Uh-huh.
there's like a pulse of damage on yourself as well as the targeted area. So like you can affect things that are in
Oh,
multiple places.
I see.
So like it can be used as like a defensive thing too, which is cool.
Hmm.
So
Pretty neat.
yeah. So, like, it's a fine skill, but, like, we have tons of support characters that have damage skills that just don't really matter much anyway, so it's pretty much on par
Yeah.
with everything else. It is what it is.
Her S2 Field Fender, apply physical and magic attack damage plus 20% buff to all allies. So this is what the Council of 10 Arc-Ether reward buff, but you can apply it. So
Yeah,
that's
or
pretty cool.
it's also the same as, like, Tink's Wave Start buff,
Hmm.
or
So that
Manga Exciter, whatever. So, yeah, actually, hold on. I haven't tested this, but I see this as magic attack
what?
damage buff. It doesn't say buffs? I wonder if that's unique. I need to test that. I didn't realize it said physical/magic. I thought it was just physical before. And it doesn't say buffs. So like it could be that it just applies the standard magic and the standard physical 20% buff. But if
Hmm.
it's both, and
I
that
mean,
would
I
imply
don't
to me
have her.
that would imply to me that it's unique. Like everybody gets one buff that says plus 20% to both. That would imply stacking. So I'm gonna need to
Didn't
test
it
that.
show in the trailer? I'm pretty sure in the little preview it just showed the standard one. I
Okay.
mean, testing it wouldn't hurt, but I think it's just the standard
Yeah, so maybe it
buff
just applies two
icons.
two buffs, and it was just worded a little bit odd.
Yeah.
Two buffs, not one
Just
buff.
from what I saw, it just seemed like it was the basic one. So,
Yeah, I
but I
assumed it
mean, it
was.
doesn't hurt to test.
Yeah, good stuff.
And then her S3, Ichi no Kagura, just restores HP. So, like, if the area is S3, right? Healing Wind.
Yeah, same thing, but on a skill, which not bad.
And then her ult, revive all incapacitated allies and greatly restore HP, applying all attribute damage plus 25% and all attribute damage cap plus 3500 buff to all allies. That, so the first part, obviously just revives and heals. That's pretty great.
Yep,
And
same
then
as
the
Theria.
second part, yeah, same as Theria, buffs damage and also buffs the damage cap. But these two buffs, they're separate buffs, but the icon is unique. It's kind of like
Yep.
if people that have Senku and have done his ult, that icon, it's similar to hers, just like a little bit different colors.
Yep.
So this stacks with Tinkili. It'll stack with all forms of like damage caps.
Yeah.
So
And for anybody just looking at new units in general, like the way you could tell this without testing it is whatever it affects usually implies a different type of icon or a type of buff. We don't have anything that gives all attribute damage buff. So like everything
yeah, we got
else,
Senku.
well, okay, other than Senku,
True.
who's like a
True,
unique
true.
specific person. But like when we're talking about things stacking, like physical damage cap increase, like apply a buff that does
Right.
physical damage cap. Okay, odds are really high if you see something else that says physical damage cap buff, it will not stack.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that says all attribute damage, you can just assume this definitely is going to be a unique icon that stacks with a generic source of physical or of
So this
a
this also
light.
applies to magic as well.
Yeah, everything. I mean, this could be your
Yeah,
UR. This
everything.
could be your alt. So yeah, all the things, which is pretty great.
So if you have her and Tinkili, boom, more damage cap, easy.
Yes, super duper good. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and look at her traits.
Go ahead, take it over, Zero.
Oh sure. We have Maiden of Binding. While the unit is alive, all damage cap plus 2,000. That by itself is pretty crazy. I didn't think about this till today. That's literally just better Bayland as far as the support capability. Like,
Yeah,
Bayland, you
yeah.
have to cast a charisma. It wastes a charisma slot. If he dies, you have to recast it, and it's only for physical damage. This is, as long as she's alive, all damage, including magic and alts and arcs, all of it, goes up by 2k. Not only that, because it's not a buff, like a charisma and things, it stacks if you happen to have multiple. So if you're in multiplayer and multiple people happen to be running her because she's the new hot thing, you're going to get 4k cap or 6k cap if you're the only DPS on the team. So it's so good. It's such a good passive. The fact that it's just
It's
there.
kind of like it. The wording, I didn't recognize it at first, but the wording should have, like, it. As soon as I saw it, I should have understood what it meant, because Senku's passive is also the same. While he's alive, he like boosts the elemental damage, your magic skill, and all that.
Sure.
So I just assumed this was like a battle start. I didn't read it as while she's alive, implying it's her own thing.
Yep.
But just wanted to note that out. It's just like Senku's, as it'll just apply as long as she's alive.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
So then we do have an actual battle start effect, which is apply Grand Brave to everybody, so plus 35% strength, which you don't normally have unless you're casting on someone or it's in their kit, just because fast Grand Brave isn't a thing. There's some other units that might do some things like this, such as, I believe Shift Medine, her on wave start does a similar thing too. But then the unique thing that I'm hoping becomes a trend on supports, as rare as they are to get, every 40 seconds she'll use 50 MP to reapply the buff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So in a self-maintained Grand Brave phaser that casts itself. Like, you don't have to watch the buff times or anything. It just always
Right.
keeps happening. That's pretty sweet. I like that. I think that's really cool design. And I hope we see more of that. I love that.
Although it is, like as cool as cool as it is applying, continuously applying the 35% STR. I guess this is just me being, picky. It's the fact that it's only STR, and I mean, it's
Yeah,
like I said,
true.
it's just me
Yeah.
being picky. Like
Yeah.
it could have been something else,
Yeah,
but the
considering
fact that,
yeah, considering everything else in her kit is like non-specific, it would have been nice if it was like strength and int. Um,
yeah,
you know. So I hear you. But either way,
but it's cool
yeah, it's
because I
cool.
think maybe this is like a stepping stone, like you said, where they'll start doing this continual reapplying buffs. That'd be pretty neat on
Yeah.
supports. But
Well,
then we
even
also don't get supports that much, so
yeah,
when will we see this kind of thing again?
yeah, and like I think it'd also be interesting if we could have something like this on a skill as well, potentially, where like, oh, you pay a bit more, and like
Hmm.
it's gonna leech a little more. Like maybe if you were to cast the spell itself, it only costs 30 MP, but you could pay an extra 1 or 2 SC. It's gonna eat 50% more MP, and then it's gonna auto cast for you whenever like it sees that the buffs are off of everybody. Or like every 40
Hmm.
seconds, it's going to recast a debuff or recast a buff to your team or something. So then we'd have auto fast and some other new thing, like auto cast. Maybe like auto cast brave would be a skill.
Autocast Brave.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd call it. You'd call it something interesting, but sustain brave. I don't know. Um, okay, and then we have Heaven's Guidance. Nullify Sorcerer Killer / Slayer effects. Huge. Absolutely huge.
Hmm.
At least for
Hmm.
Arena, for survivability
Right.
and stuff, which I saw somebody over on Reddit before talking about how she could be really, really good in stall teams, and I didn't quite see it just because, like, yeah, you could have a really, really good healer that's always going to heal up, so she could run with Theria and just be good in that regard. And then, like, she comes with some other defensive stuff, which we'll get into. I kind of forgot about this one. This is pretty massive, to say the least. So I think, her survivability, she could definitely be made to be pretty tanky off of this and some
Hmm.
of the other stuff. So I didn't really see it before. I kind of argued that, like, hey, maybe there's a, if you just had like a well-built tank or a mage to just like be CCing things, they might just fill her slot better since she seems like she only offers like a little damage mitigation and then a bunch of healing, basically. Which, like, you could do that with Rudo, but this is pretty significant. Like, that's yeah, nullifying those effects is pretty massive in Arena. So
100% damage reduction just on, Slayer and special boost. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it can make a massive difference. Now, just so that anybody knows, that doesn't protect you against the spell render stuff. That gets through it because it's not technically Slayer damage; it's just extra damage.
Right. Yeah.
But still, massive nonetheless. HP recovery cap plus 3k. We have something like that on Theria as well. Good to see on a super OP healer. And ally's HP is restored. Oh, when an HP's ally. Wow. When ally HP is restored by an active skill, apply a buff that restores 20% of restored HP after a set time. I think this is super cool in general. Whereas Theria applies a barrier that's going to mitigate some damage coming in and prevent flinch.
Hmm.
She gives you a buff. I haven't tested this thoroughly. I assume this is very similar to Gen's abilities, like his ult that
Yeah.
recovers MP or his one that recovers SCT, where you heal them, they get a buff. It has a background value based on the amount that you restored, and then after, say, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever, you heal again. So
Do you refresh? I don't know. I don't know if you've tested it, but does it refresh?
I assume
Like,
that if you heal again, I assume it replaces the old buff. But I haven't tested it enough.
oh,
Yeah, I haven't
so
tested it
then
enough.
there's a. The only reason I'm asking is so there's a potential where you just continuously reapply it, and never actually get it.
Potentially. Yeah, potentially. But I don't know. I don't know because I haven't tested it. But that's how Gens work, for instance. So,
Ah,
like, he only has one charge on his S2, but if you give him skill charge 2 and spam 2
uh-huh.
abilities, you don't get the effect twice. You get it, and
Damn.
then
Okay,
it gets another one. So, yeah, since it's a
that's
buff,
unfortunate.
there's not a whole lot that you can do. This again, this it feels more like a PvP passive, to be honest, because in PvE you have so much MP that, like, if it's
Yeah.
not going to full
Hmm.
heal you, which it probably would anyway, you're probably just going to get healed up anyway. I mean, in PvE, I could see it being like you get hit, you get healed up to full, and then you're taking like some persistent damage from like a Nether Tempest from a boss or something, and like you're CC'd, and then suddenly you just get healed back up some more anyway. That could be a thing. The other thing that's interesting is like because it's 20% of the amount restored, I wonder if this is the value on paper, which I kind of hope that it is. Like if you're missing 2,000 and you heal and you get healed for 12k, I would hope that that would mean, or say 10k just for easy math. I would hope
Yeah,
that that
right.
means we're going to get rehealed for 2k again, even though you already healed only 2k. I would hope that 20% is based off the number that you got healed by, not the amount of HP actually healed to get you up to full. You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
see what you
Because
mean.
that means
Okay.
overhealing kind of matters. And like that passive
Right.
could actually be like much, much better, which would be nice. So it'd be really cool if we ever got a healer that said like for all healing after full, apply a barrier for that value. You know, so like just jacking
Imagine.
your healing through the roof would be crazy. Like I don't build any extra stuff to help my Theria heal, because if she's gonna heal, she's gonna heal you to full pretty much always. Like you don't even have to build any extra healing. Her healing is just that good. I assume
Hmm.
Sarah's the same. I only have a like mid game build on her because I only pulled her on my ult, but she seems like she's built like Theria, where she's just gonna heal you to max pretty effortlessly. You know, so yeah, I think that'd be a cool thing to see on a healer eventually. But in general, this is a really cool skill. I love it. I think these base abilities, traits, her resistances, all this looks great. I think she's a super
I
cool
agree.
unit.
I concur.
All right. Do you want to run through skills?
Yeah, sure. So, her charisma, Spirit Maiden's charisma, give all allies the effect when restoring HP with the unit's active skill, plus 30% more recovery. So it's just 30% more recovery, right? It's from what I'm understanding.
That's what I'm reading, but they worded it so weird.
Yeah, that's why it took me a little. I'm like, let me make sure I'm saying something right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm understanding. It's just 30% more recovery.
Yeah. So basically, not everybody heals 30% more with their skills, but when anyone gets healed, you get healed 30% more, which, like, you would think should
Yeah.
be the same, but I bet in calculation it's a slightly different thing.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's what I assume it is to mean. So everybody passively just gets 30% more HP from any forced recovery. So like things like Awaken and Proud Force, this isn't gonna affect. But if somebody casts a
Right.
spell or uses a skill that heals, then it would do it. I would guess like Tink's healing also wouldn't trigger this, since that's triggered off of her passive trait. It's not active
Hmm.
healing as part of the skill. So yeah, so that's a thing.
Oh, I think okay. So now that I read it twice or 10 more times, so it's everyone else that's getting healed by Sarah gets 30% more, right?
Well, it's all allies being healed by anyone.
No, because when
With you,
restoring
oh, it says
HP
with
with
units.
units active skills.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't help your other
Yeah,
allies also help you heal. It's basically just a thing that said. So that's really weird,
that
though.
Sarah heals.
So
Yeah,
that's
she
super.
heals them for 30% more.
Okay, so that's super weird because it doesn't say all. It also doesn't say Sarah's active skill. So what if you have two Sarahs in the party? Does everybody only get better healing from the one whose charisma is currently overriding the other? Like the one charisma that's existing, you only get better heals from her.
I don't know, bro.
That's a little weird. That's kind of what it sounds like. But yeah, either way, you're
Huh.
still going to be getting healed up anyway. I don't think this
Right.
charisma matters. If you have another
No,
charisma
it doesn't.
available,
No.
yeah, if you have another charisma available, use it. Again, this feels like an arena. This could be cool. Like this is good in arena.
Hmm.
Like if you're not healing to full, which sometimes maybe you're not, this will help you to heal to full if you don't have a different charisma, especially because like supports don't have MP right away. Usually you need to find something for them to do for the first 6 seconds while they work on getting MP regenerated. You can easily
Hmm.
be applying a charisma that could help you potentially, assuming she doesn't die. Which good luck, but you know, hopefully she can survive.
Hopefully.
All right, let's keep rolling.
So then she comes with God heal, pretty cool.
Right.
Starlight heal. Who else has this? Is it Theria?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this like
There's
the worst?
it's not.
Stardust.
No, yes, but it's the multiplayer friendly Stardust because you don't
Ah.
pause time
Mm.
for it. So it's the same as Stardust. Actually, this says greatly restores, I'm pretty sure Stardust is a moderate heal.
No, yeah, but I'm saying Stardust as in like AoE heal.
Yeah, but like if you're just going for pure heals and you don't need the time stop, I think this one probably does actually heal more. I'd
Yeah.
have to test it, but I think that it is a stronger heal. So yeah, but either
Hmm.
way, this is the one that you spam in multiplayer because nobody likes time stop. So there you go.
uh, moving on, we got Cure All. Cure All
Great.
basic status ailments.
Love it.
Erase. Theria is the only other one that has this, correct?
Um, Maybe. I feel like there's some other random units, like Claire might have it. Like I feel like there's
Really,
some other.
Erase?
I think there's some other units that have some weird stuff. It might not be Claire, but I feel like I've seen it on somebody.
Ether heal? Maybe you're
Uh,
thinking about Ether
well, I know
heal.
there's Ether Heal too, but um, I mean I
I
could tell
swore Theria was the only other
she
one.
might be. She might be. I could tell you in about a second. Um,
All right,
oh yeah,
confirm
yeah.
that, sir.
It's just her and Summer Lila has it too.
Oh, Summer Lila has it.
Yeah, Summer Lila
Huh.
has it as well. But yeah, it is a pretty
Okay.
exclusive spell.
Interesting.
You is
Well,
right.
pretty cool, I guess.
Yep.
High Resurrection.
Great.
This is also on another source that we'll get into, but High Resurrection, pretty great. Grand Protection, Magic Castle, we've had those, so nothing too crazy with those. High Vitality Phaser, this is actually new.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Increase all allies' HP by 2,000 and recover HP. So
Yeah.
increase HP and recover HP.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Now I'm curious to know how big of a heal that is, because like this is 60 MP, which is quite hefty. Like raising,
Hmm.
I mean, in a day and age where we can have our HP caps pretty easily, like 10k, 12k, whatever. 2k doesn't do a ton, I don't think. But then again, in multiplayer, I see a lot of people build pretty glass cannony and only have like 6,000 HP. So like, this is a pretty big bump for some people. So,
Mm-hmm.
and not that many units come with like fast vitality or even run it because it's just not that massive of an effect. So like, it doesn't have a ton of overlap with stuff. So just applying it once, that's not bad. It's not bad.
It's nice to have. Nice to
Yeah,
have. MP Max, pretty neat.
great.
Magic up defense max, more healing.
Yep,
Arcane 4, int and MP plus 10%.
cool.
And then we've got Esoteric up
Yes,
3. This is very new. Int
cool.
Mind MP plus 10%. I'm
Cool.
wondering if we'll get those in the future. Maybe on
I assume.
URs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I assume we'll definitely see it on units though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was looking at it, I
Yeah,
was like, what the hell is this? And then I was like, oh, nice. That's pretty cool. I like that.
yeah. I'm kind of surprised. I would almost think it'd just be like mind and MP instead of int, mind, and MP. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
Royal Armor, reduced chance of receiving critical hits. Pretty nice.
nice.
Divinity Shield. First that we see this. So damage from divinity type enemies minus 20%. So gods, dragons, spirits, and
Yeah,
undeads.
yeah. We've seen some stuff like this for other things, like soldier shields and fish shield and other things, but not often we see.
Divin
And like I
Divinity
think
Shield, yeah.
Yeah, so we've seen some stuff like that, but these Royal Armor and Divinity Shield, more stuff to help survive an arena is the main thing that I'm seeing. But also, if you happen to be going against something in PVE that's a God, Dragon, Spirit, Undead, um, yeah, she's gonna have a much harder time dying, which is nice, and she specializes in fighting gods, so it makes sense.
I think Divinity Shield pretty much is only going to help you survive against Lug, right?
In what, in PVE stuff?
Well, like PvP. Like if you,
Oh, in PvP.
yeah,
Lug, I've
pretty
been
sure it's
seeing.
only against Lug.
I mean, I've seen Ray get used more as well. I mean, Undead Spirit
Oh, right. I
Dragon.
forgot about Ray.
Yeah, Undead Spirit and Dragon, not a ton of any of that stuff. So I mean, it's mostly just gods in general. But I mean, if somebody's running to Grog, it'll help there.
I forgot about the girl.
Which
Jesus.
she has Human Slayer, so that could be a thing.
Right.
Or if somebody's dumb and just didn't take Mimicry God off of like their Baron or something, he's not too common anymore. But yeah, there's a
Hmm.
few gods going around sometimes, but it's mostly Lug. With a sprinkling of Ray and DeGrogue would be the main things I'd say it protects against.
Haven't seen DeGrog in a while, but yeah, DB Ray and Lug help survive. I don't know if it'll matter, but it helps.
Yeah.
So wisdom's protection. We've seen this on an arc. What is it? Shit, what's the name of the arc?
Mindscape,
I
I
drew a
believe.
blank.
I think it's on
Mindscape.
Mindscape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So adds 5% event to defense and mind, so it'll help with some healing as well as give some, defensive capabilities. Not a whole lot, but it helps a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Auto heal, pretty cool.
Always nice. Again, just
Everyone,
like Theria, right?
right?
So same type of thing.
Healing boost, healing high boost, and then sacred guardian.
This is
So she
huge.
does she does all the heals. She can she has high level magic chant and she's got sacred guardian, so she's gonna have no problem casting, starlight, stardust. So she definitely is gonna be able to heal and heal quick.
Yep.
So I could see this being very important in arena should you use her in arena.
Absolutely.
Uh Archangel's Blessing, everyone knows what that does. More MP after every wave, so recovers 30% more,
Yep.
or recovers 30% MP. Maglion Shield, we've seen this on a few other units. Arena probably is where you're gonna see this the most. I don't know if this is gonna help her survive nukes though. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if you build her
It can't.
super tanky.
It depends who you are, but I mean, if you're with her base resistances and stuff, if you're going against like Lug that's sniping with S2, sometimes an S3, as well as Roy, especially since he's the main nuker, this does help quite a bit.
Right?
It's a
Does it?
significant boost, yeah. And not only that, in PvE, since you're just gonna sit in the back as a support anyway, this is really good in boss fights since like most alts, if not all, but I know majority at least, come in as physical attack damage. So if you're using things like protection and you're nerfing strength, which usually is what bosses scale off of, this also is going to reduce the damage that you take. So like if you're sitting in the back of the map with Maglion Shield and Kraken does its wave transition or whatever, you're going to take 50% less damage from that. It's pretty huge. I know I was testing some different builds before when I was just figuring out different units to play with it against, and I would on my like swimsuit Alice, if I'm right on top of Kraken, it could potentially kill me, or even or just get me really really close to dead. But I found I could put on Maglion Shield, hit her S2 to like back up, like right before the transition, and then just take a second to move to the back of the map and like be at 50% or more HP, like just by moving away at the last second. So like there's uses for Maglion Shield in PvE too. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really use it, but that's good to know. Good
Yeah,
to
you
know.
can teach it from the Ganon arc. I think it costs like 10. I do think that it is probably worth that in the cases where you need to survive and you can apply it. So, yeah. When you get it free though, especially on
That's
somebody who
real
stays in the
nice.
back of the map, pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
So moving on, we got immovable object. Spellcaster will not be interrupted by most attacks. I don't,
Okay.
for the longest time, how effective is this though? Like I
Okay.
never understood it.
Okay, a movable object is good in certain cases. I don't understand it here. If you can instant cast something, a movable object doesn't do anything.
Right.
So she comes with enough to instacast her magic, because basically what a movable object does is when you're queued up for a spell and you're trying to go through your 1 second where you have to charge up before you get the spell off, in that amount of time you have X amount of flinch resistance where you need to take a certain amount of skill damage or whatever type of damage before you can get flinched out, and basically it cancels your spell. So it's really,
Right.
really good on like early game accounts where maybe you don't have all your cast speed and it takes you 3-5 seconds to cast a big magic spell that's going to wipe the board. If you get flinched out of it, it really sucks. So then during that 3 to 5 seconds, whatever it is, you hopefully will be able to keep it going and just take the damage instead of taking the damage and flinching. But in this case, like I don't know when it's ever going to work. Like she's probably not going to cast any magic that can be interrupted. The other time when it can be helpful is like in arena, or in PvE if you're a caster and somebody has the cast space. When you're in that like limbo where you're waiting for the cast space to open up so that you can then cast your spell, a movable object keeps you from flinching in that time too. But again, healing magic doesn't deal with the cast space at all. So like I
Right.
don't know why a movable object exists here. The only thing I can think of is it's supposed to help you out until you upgrade her further to the point of having high level magic chant and sacred guardian and all that other stuff. And then like basically you won't need it anymore once you get up there. So unless somebody
Mm.
knows something more to it, maybe there's an extra layer to that I haven't noticed. But to me, if I can hit instant cast with any of my units, I never give them a movable object. I just make them instant cast everything. So yeah, I don't get that one, but either way, I'll take it for free. Like fine,
Mm-hmm.
cool.
For free. How much is it on SC wise?
9, I think. It's as
Nine?
much as high
Oh,
level.
okay.
Now, I will say a place where maybe the reason that it's here is like because we've started seeing a few things where like she obviously could handle herself in arena. You could take her in and teach her something like Blizzard, and you could have her
Right.
using something like Blizzard, and then while she's waiting on the cast space, a movable object will help her, and it's free. You don't want to waste 9 SC on that. But if you want to build her to be more than just a healer, this could help her to do that. So, there is some value there. All right.
So she's got a high level magic chant. So again, that'll just help her with her casting. With the biggest thing for me is with all this casting is just obviously PVE. Help out your teammates. But I've been doing arena more, so now I'm actually looking at these kits and being like, oh hey, maybe this is all right in arena.
Yeah.
So all this casting and healing casting, well, primarily healing casting is like Stardust heal. Uh, that's what I've been noticing the most,
Yeah.
because that's what I got my Theria doing, just spamming that. So
Yeah.
that's pretty.
It
It'll
was
just help out with
rarer.
that.
It was rarer before because you pretty much needed Maiden's Lovely Banquet, and not everybody had
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that she has E5 and gets auto recast, everybody can use Stardust. So,
Right.
yeah, that's just the way to
So
go. You get a barrier. You get a barrier. Everybody gets a barrier.
yep, it's pretty annoying.
Yep.
It's actually come in a lot more clutch than I underestimated that buff that she got. Theria with the high level,
Yeah.
not high level, the auto recast
Yeah.
and being able to instant cast Stardust. But it's pretty great now that I'm using it constantly. So
Yep. Yeah, it's massive. The fact that because it's auto, the fact that she can come back from death and still have it, like that's the thing that really counts. Because we could give her fast recast before, but if you get nuked
Right.
that first time, then all of a sudden she becomes a little bit dead, in some regards. So, you pretty much needed to have it be consistent. So that gave her the leg that she needed. But yeah, Sarah's got the same thing going on. So, and the interesting thing is like because she applies that buff, instead of getting a barrier on everybody, which is like undoubtedly better. Like Theria and Arena is still easily like if you had to pick between the two, you just pick Theria. She is so much better. Like maybe somebody could argue otherwise, but I don't think you could. Like the fact she gives a faint
that
immunity,
barrier is too strong.
yeah, the barrier
faint
and,
immunity.
and faint immunity, like it's too good. But if you wanted to run both of them together, like yeah, that could be annoying for sure.
Just be super annoying.
Yeah, like I said, movable object is good for when you don't have spell priority. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
again, cast space stuff,
right.
which she doesn't have at base, but maybe for arena. All right, roll Mega Boost.
Robe Mega Boost. This is not the first time, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't
I
think
think
it's the first
Maja
one.
has it.
He might. I don't know. I don't care.
So when a robe's equipped, mine plus 20%, so more healing, magic attack damage plus 10%, physical
Nobody
damage
cares.
taken minus 10%.
That's good though.
So it'll help out in arena a little bit.
Yep. And again,
More
just
damage,
yeah, and just surviving.
any
boss
damage
ults.
mitigation is nice.
Yeah, again,
And boss
surviving
ults,
boss
yeah.
ults. Like, anytime we see this type of stuff that makes it easier for you to be the last man standing, considering her ult heals all the rest of your teammates, like, she's going to be really nice to have to just be like, well, everybody got fucked, but she's still standing, and she gets to come in and save the day. So,
Right.
she'll get to do that.
So moving on, Daybreak, new skill exclusive to her. HP recovery plus 10% and duration of buffs plus 10% from units active skills. So even more HP recovery, and
Yeah.
then it extends those buffs that she applies. So pretty neat,
Yep.
pretty neat little combination.
Good stuff.
And then we've got Heavenly Chakra, which is actually good that it's coming up because I was gonna bring up why she didn't have certain skills, but. So Heavenly Chakra, continuous grand regeneration, and advanced magic circles effect to unit. So I was
Beautiful.
wondering, I was like, she's got no auto recast, but
Yeah,
or not
that's
auto recast,
yeah.
auto advanced.
Yeah, when they first revealed it, this is what I noticed, and I was like, it's really weird. We've been considering so many of our like power crept quote unquote units have like just tons and tons of auto stuff, or they're made with a tons of fast stuff because they're meant to be like more in short bursts or whatever. But I was like, she doesn't have auto recast, she doesn't have auto advanced, like she doesn't have some of these things that we'd normally have, but she has Sacred Guardian, which technically better than auto recast because you just want her healing to be good anyway. You don't need auto
Yeah.
recast. And she has auto circles hidden in this skill. So this is beautiful. Love it. Great. Passive
So
healing.
survivability for her, and then more MP heal recovery.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Good shit. Love it. This is a fun one.
Clouded Heavens. Special becomes able to deal damage, and then special damage cap plus 30,000 greatly boost special damage to god types. So again, I'm assuming it's lore wise that she just absolutely hates god types, but she
Yep.
can do a lot of damage. From I think Tweak said something
Yeah.
about like 45k.
Yeah, you can you
Um,
can set her up. You can build her for it, for sure.
But then again, the thing is being able to like, although it sounds, special damage cap plus 30,000, and then special damage greatly dealt to god types. The thing is, I don't know how quick does she get her ult?
Um I don't know exactly. But the little bit that
Like, it's
I've
not Tinky, right?
no, the bit that I've used her on my alt, she's nowhere near Tink. Like
Okay.
it takes much longer. But I haven't tested her specifically, but I would guess it's much more in line with Theria, which takes quite a bit of time. Which also means, as far as like the alt buff for specifically providing offensive capabilities, I think Tink is still better overall.
Right.
Like for just like refreshing it. But just running them both together is obviously the play.
Yeah.
And you just nuke
So
things
being able to deal
in first
damage
alt.
is cool.
Yeah, yeah. So this though, I the thing that I saw from Tweaks' testing was he said it sounds like there's like a times 10 x multiplier on gods here. So like the alt doesn't
Jesus.
like the alt doesn't do much against non-gods. Like maybe you'll hit
Hmm.
like 5k, 10k, something possibly, but then you go against the god and you're just like caps.
Wow.
So if
Okay.
you're building for special damage, you pretty much want to be against gods, because if you're not against gods, like it's not really worth the damage. Um,
So she just absolutely hates gods, is
she
what
just
I'm
hates gods. That's
understanding.
that's her thing, which they said in her reveal video. They said that she's made to specifically combat gods, and like be the bane of gods. So, all right, last skill here.
We got Yata no Kagami. Hopefully I said that right.
Better than
So
me.
less likely to be targeted by enemies. Physical damage taken minus 20%. When attacking with the special, apply a STR defense int minus 35% debuff to god type enemies. So she's got I'm assuming it's a reject effect.
Yep.
Not sure how like I'm not sure the level of less targeted by enemies, but I'm assuming it's just the same as reject.
Yeah,
And then physical
I'm
damage
assuming.
taken minus 20%. So was this the
Right.
same as protection, right?
It's not a buff. It's not a buff.
No,
So
I know, but I'm saying like the
oh
damage
yeah,
mitigation is
yeah,
like
yeah.
protection.
Same mitigation, but it stacks. So like this is just flat
Okay.
increase, which is awesome.
And then again, just hates gods and debuffs when she does her special,
Yep.
which I
Um,
mean, if you're going to use it against a god, then you're pretty sad already.
yeah. I mean, this is really, really good synergy with like her purpose, right? So like, if you're in a boss fight against a god specifically, if they take everybody out with like a time stop alt, she's still standing. She can alt. She brings everybody back up, makes them stronger, makes them do more damage, and in addition to that, she makes the boss be debuffed so hard that if they have another alt or even 2 or 3 alts after that, it's going to be so gimped for damage that it's just not going to matter anymore. And you're just not going to barely get hurt anyway. So, like, you're going to be looking great.
Is that debuff? I'm assuming it's just like the standard icons, or is it like a
I'm
special
sure it's the
thing?
standard icons, but it's the high version of them. So it's putting
Gotcha.
it's
Yeah.
using high blazer, high Lamosa or whatever,
Mimosa.
yeah, Lamosa, yeah, whatever it is.
Lastoma.
Lastoma, okay, yeah, I don't use
My
that one
man's
enough.
thinking about alcohol.
Yeah, well, you do what you got to do. And then obviously high drain as well, so your physical damage. Again, this is kind of like the other one where like even though her passives technically hit everything, she does have a little bit of a focus towards physical, which the meta does anyway. So like I'm fine with it. It's not that bad. But
Mhm.
this is similar where we are only hitting physical, we're not hitting mages, just like with her other passive. But
Right.
so see Sarah rating. I mean, I don't really do much for ratings. I could take a guess
Yeah, I don't do ratings
with
either.
without looking at the global tier list. I could take a guess at what she'd be at. I would say she's probably like 9.5 or higher, probably closer to 9.6, 9.7. I bet ideal case scenario she's probably 10 out of 10. Because all of the cap increases she gives stacks with everything else. So she can hit the biggest stuff in general. If you run Tinkili and her in your party, and you ult with both of them, you're getting 10.5k cap increase to your entire team for physical.
Yeah.
Pretty okay.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty crazy.
So let's talk about some of the things that we normally, or at least that we've been hearing when she was revealed. Like, oh, is she going to power creep Theria? Is she just
Okay.
like the better tank? Is she whatever? You know, Tink and Theria I think are the most common comparisons because Theria is a super healer and just a power unit in general. Tink is like the offensive support that gives you cap increases. She does a little bit of both. I'd like to hear your take on it, and then I'll chime in with whatever I think about it.
Okay. So well, let's get this out of the my opinion is she does not creep the area at all. That
Yeah.
barrier, the faint nil, and just support wise, I just don't think she comes close to Theria. But healing, yeah, she can definitely heal for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But Theria offers more than just healing. She offers a lot of survivability. Uh, so that part of Sarah, no, she does not creep Theria. Now the other part, which is the buffs, I don't think she creeps Tinkili, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think she creeps Tinkili. Like she's
Yep.
great, right? If you
Yep.
don't have Tinkili and you have Sarah, cool, awesome. You can run her. But if you happen, to get both, you're going to run both. I just don't think she creeps
Yep.
Tinkili.
I
And
agree.
and because I mean she's a mixture of both. She's Tinkili, but she can also heal. But at the same time, I personally don't think she creeps Tinkili. I don't know. I'm like in the mix between that side.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much in almost complete agreement. Theria is the unit you use when you just want to make sure you can't die. Like
Right.
she
Yeah.
when it comes to pure defensiveness, like Sarah isn't gonna come even remotely close to protect your team like Theria does. Like it's not in the same ballpark. The level of healing will be good, like probably on par. I bet they will give equal healing to your team, but Theria just offers so much more in the defensive realm. But I find that I don't run Theria that much these days. Like you don't need that much defense
No.
in majority of content. You don't need all of that, and if you don't need to be healed, like what she really offers you is the flinch resist barrier, which can be good. Depending on the
Mhm.
content that you're in, but sometimes things hit so hard that if you're not spamming it, like micromanage spamming it to like make sure you're getting one off like every second, enemy AOE things like magic and some other hits can just rip off the barrier and flinch you anyway. So it's just kind of fine. So in that case, if you don't need all the stuff she offers, then you could still have a top tier healer while also giving you some offensive stuff. On the flip side, if you just want to do all the damage, like say you're in a case scenario where you're having trouble hitting damage cap, she doesn't give you that much increase against like enemies. Like she gives you her S2 gives you a regular physical damage increase. She might have a little bit more that she gives you, but it's not like Tink. Tink can buff the strength of all your human units, which is just kind of fine. But her ult, it gives you break damage increase, it gives you skill damage increase, it gives you damage to enemies while in break. Like when you pop her ult, you can go from dealing like pretty good damage to like holy shit, I'm capping really easy now. Sarah doesn't offer that. So if you don't need help hitting damage cap, then Sarah can be just fine. And if you can kill things in 40 seconds from her first ult, then like her by herself could be really good. But Tink also has the passive that gets her ult back really fast. So
Right.
so you can have her built with buff duration, which I think that's another thing worth noting is Tink's ult lasts 20 seconds at base. I believe Sarah's lasts 40. Um,
Yeah, just from the wording. I mean, it didn't specify a time, so we just assume a buff is always going to be 40 seconds.
yeah, I don't know if Tink's had it specified though either. Like I don't think
Yeah, it
Tink's.
says 20
It does say
seconds.
20 seconds. Okay, yeah. So then
Hmm.
that's a
Yeah.
fair assumption to go under. But the difference also is that Sarah getting her second ult back is going to take way, 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 way longer than Tink's. So Tink can loop on herself where like she can get her stuff back so fast that you could just maintain that buff throughout a fight if you build her for that. So having that constant damage increase, like if you just want to get more damage and you're not worried about dying at all, you don't need really, really good healing, then I would still pick Tink in some of those cases. But she's this really nice hybrid where if you're like, I do need to have some healing, but I also want to have like some increases because I can hit damage cap and I want to just have some more damage cap, have a free revive. Like she's a really beautiful hybrid unit that's perfectly balanced right in the middle of the two. So she doesn't really creep anybody other than, like I said, Balin's charisma. But other than that,
Poor Balin.
yeah, poor Balin. I mean, he still has a role as an entire unit, but his charisma itself, I don't think really matters much. But
No,
it'll still
not
stack.
anymore.
Like it'll stack. You could run Sarah and Balin. Like not every account's gonna have everything. So like all these things are still useful, which I think is really great. They hit this nice line of making a unit that's really, really strong, but doesn't make anybody else irrelevant if you have both.
Right.
Which I think is just really good. They've been talking about doing like side creeps and stuff, and this is a beautiful example of it, in my opinion. So I
Hmm.
like it. I
Yep.
think she's great. So yeah, cool. Moving on from her, let's take a peek at her arc. Is there anything other comment you wanted to make on her?
On Sarah,
Yeah.
I've been asked many times, should I pull for Sarah? Should I pull for Sarah?
What's
I
on
don't
your
know,
account?
man. Like what's on you? It's
Yeah.
so easy to ask, like, but it's not easy to answer. Like, I don't know, does your account need her? Like, is she gonna make a big impact on your account? Like, it's not
Yeah.
just, hey, should I pull for her?
Yeah.
So just
The,
I don't know. That's why we do these, right? So maybe you can get some more information so that you
yeah.
could decide to pull or not.
Yeah. Like, do you not have a top tier healer? She's probably gonna do you really well. Like if you don't have Theria, she's going to heal better than any other option you could possibly have. Like I
Hmm.
guarantee that for sure. Um, if you're just looking to get a damage increase, like if you have Tink unbuilt on your account, or you could go for Sarah, and you're only hitting like 8,000 damage, and you have like a 25k damage cap on like your Sheeta or your Lug or whoever it is, and you're not hitting that damage
Right.
cap, like having Sarah's gonna be cool. If you get her, I would still build Tink. Or you could pass
Hmm.
her up, build Tank because she's going to help your damage much more, and then eventually maybe you'll get Theria, who's going to help you over. I think Theria powers up an account way more than Sarah does. She's much more
Yep.
of a needed unit than Sarah is. But nobody that
I
gets
agree.
Sarah is going to be sad that they have her. you know?
Yeah.
So like, if you need a good support that heals you like crazy, and is probably going to help you in arena, at least in the lower levels, I'm sure you could build her to be good at some later levels. I'm sure she could be set up that way. But yeah, she's good. I don't think she is a must pull, but most units aren't
I don't
must
think so.
pulls. You know,
Unless Lug.
fuck Lug. For sure,
Lug or Roy, those are must pulls.
Lug or roll. Yeah, yeah. Theria also. Like
Oh, yeah,
she's up
there
there.
as well.
Like yeah. But yeah, she's great overall. Not a must pull, but if your account needs her, I wouldn't feel bad about pulling for her at all. I pulled for her on my ult because I needed a good one, so now I have Tink and her on my ult, which is really awesome.
Jesus, man, you're all is stacked.
Dude, my ult is so stacked. It's gotten to the point now that like I originally made the account for Angela, and there's a lot of times where I'm just gonna be like, you can just sit on the bench. I'm just gonna power up S-Bet, and I'm just gonna have S-Bet slapping
Right?
so hard. Like she's gonna be able to hit
Yeah.
over 30k eventually, like when I have her
Crazy.
fully built. Like, is pretty good. All right, new UR. I'll run through this
You want
stuff.
to cover
So,
this? Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
you want to take a stab at the name because I don't know what this is.
Amaterasu.
Beautiful, love it.
Yeah, Amaterasu, if you want to say it like that.
Cool, sounds great. Art, good. I like it. Lots of undead crap, like going against this holy aura, who's obviously in the artwork with Sarah,
Hmm.
Amaterasu. So 80 MP, pretty baller for a support. First of all, like when
That's
you have
massive.
that's huge. Like usually 50 is good on an arc. 80 is insane. I don't think there's many arcs that can hit that. HP's
No.
HP's much lower. Strength and int are balanced. Mind is super high. Cool. I think that generally makes sense for the type of thing we're going for here. A little bit higher strength than I kind of expect, but I'm down for it.
I'm assuming the MPs without extends. I mean, not that
I
you
would
would
assume
use the
yes.
extend on
Yeah,
MP,
yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure. I would assume so, for sure. Which also means the MP's without an extend, if that's the case. Just kind of crazy. Okay, so light attack damage plus 15%. Neat. Most attacks are effective against undead. Interesting, it says most attacks. I wonder if that means like physical and magic, but maybe not alts. Or maybe it's magic, physical, and alts, but not arc skills. I don't know what that means. So I need to wait to see the data mine on that. That's interesting. But either way, it's just against undead, but still, free Undead Slayer at a minimum is probably fine. I would assume Undead Slayer and Geyser, probably. Which is great. You know, that'd be sweet. Each time healing magic is used, cut the damage taken by 20%, up to 10 times, add up to 10 times. So you get 2% damage reduction each time you cast healing magic. So if you're just spamming stuff, you're going to take less and less damage over time, which is really great. Resets each wave, or if incapacitated. If this is on Sarah, she's probably not getting incapacitated. We'll just say that. It's probably not going to happen. Light attack damage cap. Plus 2k, so we finally got our light arc. This isn't exactly how I saw us getting it, but
nope, I didn't as well.
side of supporty stuff, but and then HP recovery cap from active skills plus 2k as well. So we get more than just the offensive, we also get the healing cap increase. One of the things that I see when I look at this is like, I could actually run this on Roland because like he hits damage cap so easy now with his like plus 50% to light damage. If you wanted to build him to be like dual wield DPS and a support healer at the same time, like be your healer as well as like a really good sub DPS, like he could do that pretty well with this arc. So it's interesting. It's not what I expected, but I kind of like it. It's all right. It's not bad. What's your take in general on this trait?
Well, the trait, it's just looking at the trades, it's already better than Council of 10. But we won't talk about that.
That's a low bar. It's a low bar you're setting there.
But I mean, I'm surprised that the light damage cap is only 2,000 as opposed to the other elements being 3,000. I mean, 1,000 is not that big of a deal, but I would assume they would have followed the same thing and kept them all at 3,000. So one small thing to note. I'm curious to know too about that effective against undead types. Light attack damage plus 15%, cool. HP recovery cap from skills 2,000, cool. Mitigates damage at 10 times when you repeat healing magic. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's unique. So I like it. I think it's cool. It's not anything crazy, but I think it's cool.
Yep, I agree. I think I'm totally fine if they want to do this, like, breaking the 3K cap to, like, do other things. Somebody asked in chat, oh, maybe they're saving the 3K light cap for shift rolling. I kind of doubt it. I honestly kind of doubt it at this point. I think this is the answer that we got for it. And I think that if this arc released with Roland, I don't think that it would have even been that far off, depending what they give us for him, just because when he was initially released, he was made to be a hybrid. Like, he was a paladin. He was meant to do damage, tank a little bit, be some healing. Like, this fits his, like... I think this arc, I think, fits Roland better than it does Sarah, overall. Like, because it has damage increases, it has physical increases. I just think that this matches base Roland more. We don't know what his shift's going to be, but... I think that if we do get another one with a light cap, it's going to be a long ways out. And I don't think it would come with shift rolling because I think he's going to be coming soon. But I could be wrong. We'll see. I have a feeling he's just going to get a normal SSR arc. That's going to be my guess.
You think so?
I think so. But we'll see.
Because the only reason I ask is because we got the free UR, right, that gives 2,000 to neutral.
Yep.
And then we also got Council, which gives 2,000 to everything. So I don't know. Maybe there is a possibility. Although it's not,
Yep.
2,000 neutral and then 2,000 neutral. It's, in a way, it's still 2,000 to neutral. So maybe we'll get
It could be.
3,000 light UR.
We might. It could very well be possible. I'm just saying that's my guess. I think that we'll see other stuff much before we get that. So maybe it's there, but I don't know. I think it's maybe a 50-50 shot. But I do like this idea of like, well, we'll give you some cap, but then we'll have a little bit of something else. In this case, it's HP recovery cap.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
In the case of like you said, Council, it was only 2K, but it was 2K to everything. That's pretty fine. Like
Hmm.
I'd be fine if we get one of them that's like 5K cap, but only for single wield. Or whatever it might be. So seeing some different things like that could be just fine. Or 1,000 cap, but an extra 2,000 cap or extra 3,000 cap maybe against gods. I don't know. Something that like switches things up. I'd be fine with that, and I wouldn't be too surprised. But all right, skills on the arc. Healing boost. Okay, undead geyser. That's good. Granted, we don't know if this actually comes with that arc passive. It's weird
Yeah, that's
if
what
it
I'm
does,
thinking.
because then you could run, yeah, I don't know if you'd necessarily want to run both. But then again, this arc doesn't offer much if you're like a magic user, because it doesn't give you magic cap. It gives you physical, right? It gives you physical. Oh no, it is just light attacks. That would work for
Yeah,
magic
it's
as
just
well.
light.
Yeah, so I don't know if this has some overlap and it just gives you freedom to run other arcs, but fine. High resurrection, so you can put it on a unit you don't have. God healed is the third arc with God heal, which is just nice to have on an account. So if a new account gets this and you don't have Galliano Falls or Cultina, awesome. Like you can teach God heal to literally any support unit. So if you get shafted and you get the arc, but you don't get Sarah on a new account and you just really need a support, you're like, well, I got tank, but like she doesn't do enough healing. You could just teach her God heal, especially considering this is at. Yeah, I can't look. I don't know what this is at, but I would assume somewhere between like 5 and 7, which on a new account is not that hard to hit these days. So if you need to get God heal, you can get to it somewhat easily, which is cool. Holy armor, we started seeing some of this stuff recently where you just get that
Hmm.
continuous wall effect, which is only on you, but still good. Holy enhance is interesting. Light attack damage plus 10%, recovery magic power plus 30%. So okay, if we just look at it on its nose of like what you get out of this, it's technically really, really high value overall. Just because light attack damage, that's attack raise, because that's your alt, arc damage, physical, magic, whatever. Normally that would be 12 for 20%, so that's 6 SC worth. And then magic recovery power plus 30% is healing high boost, that's 8. So this would normally be 14 SC, but it's 12. So pretty decent. And there's a lot of times that you have a lot of extra SC as well on some of these types of units. Now, I think that most healing dedicated units probably don't need all that healing power, to be honest.
Yeah, I was about to
It
say.
seems like a little much. So maybe if you're putting on somebody who doesn't normally heal but is also light element, like maybe Roland again,
There you go.
maybe it would fit. But at the same time, I don't know if he needs necessarily that light attack damage because he caps pretty easy anyway. So I don't know. It's neat though. It's a cool thing. That's kind of all I have to say about it. It's fine. um, Arc Ether. We won't talk about its appearance. It looks like something. We have Sun God Magatama. I'm gonna assume that is. This
Yeah.
is a super awesome accessory, as most UR accessories are. Light attack damage plus 10%, recovery, magic power up 15%. Cool. Very notably, we have 55 int, 65 mind, which is great. 75 MP. There's not a lot of things with that much MP.
Huge.
Massive. This is so good. This is one of those types of things that if you get it, it helps you to get those supports with over 1k MP, which is pretty crazy overall. It's really, really good. So yeah, super nice. For anybody that doesn't know, the reason that you want gear with big amounts of plus MP is all of that gets multiplied by all your MP ups. So this 75 MP, if you put all the other stuff on it, is going to give you like probably closer to like 200 MP or more. Like it's a lot just for this. Like when
It's
you multiply
crazy.
everything else, it's significant. And then things like auto advanced magic circles give you MP back based on 2% of your max MP pool. So units that want to sustain passively MP, such as Theria and Sarah, want to have this, or a unit like Lena that can just get burst heals with her magic cane. Things like this make it really easy to get those big MP pools so that you can
Hmm.
spike your MP back up, which is great. And then you also get curse and stun resist, which are just nice resistances to have. So cool, nice. I guess it's also worth noting that like the light attack raises help her ult do damage technically. So all those things technically help that. So even if her S1 sucks, her ult I guess can do some damage sometimes.
Now that you mention Roland, now it seems like Roland could be what he maybe was, meant to be, the paladin, what you said. All
Yeah,
this just like I just keep thinking of Roland. Oh, hey, look, maybe Roland could use this too.
yeah. A long time ago, I made a different build on him where I made a build that was called Suto Ruto, which,
What?
uh, well, one, I thought it was just a funny name because it sounded like Pseudo Wudo from Pokemon. But basically, like, what does Roland do? He doesn't die, and then he heals and just sort of helps your team stay alive. I was like, that's kind of what Roland's supposed to do, except like Ruto doesn't do damage. Roland can actually do damage. So I'm like, okay, let's see if we can make like an MP self-sustaining Roland that can't die and can heal the team and can carry an entire fight on his own, but also still does damage. And like you can do that right now, especially after his buffs. So he's basically just like
Hmm.
Ruto, but useful. Like he does damage. Like Ruto to me, I still want Ruto on my account, but to me the biggest thing that he does is the damage reduction against AOE stuff against your entire team, like in PVE, because he can
Right,
just
right.
make your entire team like completely face tank boss ults like crazy. And like that, I think that's an invaluable thing that nobody else really offers as good as Ruto does. But as far as just
Yeah,
like
for
having a
sure.
tank that's going to pull aggro and keep your team healed up with support magic, things like that, you could technically just make Roland do that while also still capping for over 20k on dual wield and being a complete house of a unit. Like he's pretty fun. He's not going to be your best
So
DPS, but he could be a really good DPS while also doing all the other things, you know?
you mentioned Ruto, and well, not fun fact, but a cool thing that happened when they introduced that dash, the start, that new start dash updated, with like Lug, Ruto, and all that. Um, that banner, I did a multi because it had Lugs UR. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try and see if I can get Lugs UR. I got Ruto, and then I put him in my PvP team, and man, he makes such a huge difference. It's crazy.
Ruto, yeah. What I found, especially with spell render, because the formation for spell render is that you get two up top and you get two down low. I found if you just
Hmm.
put your offensive units on one side and then you put tanks on the opposite side, AI from everybody else is just going to make everybody just pile up on the other side of the map, and your DPSs are usually going to be fine. If you don't nuke them instantly, they're probably going to send all their damage that way. So then you just need to
Right.
make sure you're not dying from like big AoE cleaves and stuff. From like, Roy or Lug S3s or whatever. Oh, you got me saying Lug now, god damn it. All right. So yeah, tanks are a good thing in PvP for sure. Keep that in mind. Pulling aggro is real good. Allure is really broken on offense. Defense they can be okay, but user input can get around it, so it doesn't matter as much. But Ruto on defense, though, can be also really nice just because they can literally take control away from people with his S2, which is
Hmm. It's
omega
pretty
annoying.
nice.
It requires people to build against Ruto, which is enough of a reason to run Ruto. He has to be respected. Like, he's the reason that units that have usually S2s that are just like stationary, non-targeted AoEs around them, like they are high value just because Ruto exists. If no other reason, like they're good anyway. But the fact that he exists means if you're only targeting him, you could just be like, all right, I guess instead of attacking him, I'm just going to move over here by the unit I want to kill, and then use my S2
Yeah.
instead. So yeah,
You want to touch on the UR skill itself?
the UR skill itself, let's sure do it. Powerful light attack against all enemies, damage cap plus 15k. Cool. Oh, against undead specifically, yay, neat.
Huh.
Revive all incapacitated allies and very greatly restore HP. Cool. It's a get out of jail free card, which is cool. I'll take it. You can run this and Yazadrill, and you can have 2 free revives not tied to ultimates, not tied to spell casting or anything, at instant speed. So like even if your entire team is getting CC'd to shit, and like maybe your Sarah or your Theria or whoever your support is can't cast like Resurrection on a bunch of allies, you could still just use this because you don't need your unit to be available to do anything. So neat. I don't think it's as broken as a lot of other UR skills, but it's a good skill.
War is still the best UR skill. Don't at me.
Oh yeah, it's not even close. Yeah, Gore clearly changes the game completely. It's not even not even a contest really. I think probably the next one after that is probably Theo. Theo probably has the next best, just because you can get that reduced. You can get that weak effect that can be up to 50% at max, and then you also group people for free at instant speed, which is pretty huge. Especially for like time trials and stuff. So I think Theo is probably the second best, and then things kind of trickle in from there. Yeah. So overall, it's a good arc. Not that crazy. I think it's really niche. I think it's... My gut says it's going to be known as like one of the less wanted ones, kind of like how Lily Matter has always been the one that people have been like, damn it, I paid $100 on the banner that we're going to talk about soon, and I only got Lily Matter. Ugh. Like, that's typically what's come up. I think Lily Matter has more value now. I think it's aged better than people expected, just from, like...
Lily Matter, yeah.
Yeah, now that we have better units in general, and, like, magic DPS is a bit more of a thing. Lily Matter is actually pretty good, especially if you can max out its skill. But, yeah, I think it's going to be kind of tiered similar to that, where it's going to be niche use. Oh, and also, I think somebody told me that the reviving all allies on incapacitation... I think that might not be unlocked out the gate. You might need that at 10 to get that effect. And if that's the case, it's even worse. What the fuck? I don't know for sure.
Really?
I thought I heard somebody tell me that in Discord. But if anybody can confirm that for me in chat, let me know. Because that's kind of rough. It's true. James says it's true.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, James.
Garbage.
So that's pretty rough. So it's arc skill. Yeah. It's a bit like Council in that way.
Oh no, that's bad.
It could be. Does it just do like a heal? What is it like? It does damage and then it heals, and like it heals more for each level, and then at level 10, it's he says it's random at level 1. So you heal somebody that's dead at level 1. So it does something. So
what?
Yeah, it's weird, but like, okay, it does something though. All right. Cool. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. I should have my home screen be the proper character. That would make sense. Let's do that. Cool. He says it always heals, but revives random at 1. You can go check. Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it, James. I believe you, dog. I believe you. All right. So let's talk about some more shit, shall we? We got through Sarah. We talked through the arc. Let me see some of the other stuff that we're going to get into. I'll also note for new accounts specifically, if it wasn't guessed, Sarah is super good. One of my key things that I like to call out for brand new accounts is if you're going to have a healer, being able to have God heal early on is really, really key. So like Summoner Lena comes with it. There's not a whole lot of other units that have it. She gets it innate, so you just have it right out of the gate. So in her kit, as far as like when you actually unlock things, she gets God Heal right away, which means she has value with like basically no other investment. So yeah, she starts with God Heal. You don't even need to get it. She also has some of her other stuffs like the Fast Brave to everybody, which is really, really nice. So yeah, good stuff in general. So just figured I'd call that out for... I know some people say, like, when they get Theria is really back-end heavy. Like, you want to rush getting her board, because when she has her board filled out, you don't need to teach her anything. She's just so stacked at base. But a lot of her big-ticket stuff is further down the skill tree line. So on new accounts, I've often seen new players be like, hey, I have Theria, but she doesn't feel very broken. She just dies right away. She doesn't seem like she does very much. Like, she just doesn't give me very much. And I'm like, how many skills do you have? Well, I've started to build her. She's got, like, 40 or 50 things unlocked, and I go and look at her tree. I'm like, oh, yeah, it takes a little while for her to get online. Like, you have to give her some time. You got to respect her. She'll get there. But, yeah, on a new account, Sarah's going to be better than Theria. But end game, it's a different story. So just figured I'd specify that for people. Oh, I suppose paid stuff. We can look at her paid because that's a thing people do.
That's true.
Paid.
Let me
All right,
let me get
so
there real quick.
yep.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Holy Heliorod Lashult. Um, 50 MP is great. 177 mine. I don't think we care about the int, but still. Light attack damage plus 30%. Again, I don't think we care. Helps her ult though. Duration of buffs plus 20%. That's great.
That's great. Yes.
Yep, we'll take
It's
that.
like what Tinky's isn't Tinky's also 20%?
Yes. Yep. Same thing. Except when Tink's ult it lasts 20 seconds and this is 40 seconds. This goes a lot further. So,
Yeah.
and especially when you have a longer ult time. So that's really great. And then a continuous recast effect. Now, normally that would be really, really crazy. But when I first saw this, I was like, why? Like 70% is all you need to instacast stuff. But I was talking to Tweaks, and I haven't tested this myself, but he did say there's a difference between instacasting and like super instacasting. Like apparently you can go beyond instant cast and you can get like things actually go faster like at
Yeah, there is.
at 100% versus 70. And like I had never noticed it before, but that's a thing. So apparently even like God heal goes off quicker when you actually have more cast speed. So this tops her all the way up to 100. It's not very often that I see paid gear and I'm like, I don't think there's a case scenario where I would use this and just never replace it with anything else. Like I could usually find alternatives that are just better. I think if you happen to already spend for her and you have it, you probably get this staff and you just don't take it off. I think that's pretty fair to say. Like the fact that you get 50 MP with it, you get the increased activation, the increased buff duration. That could be all this has.
Excuse me.
That could be all this has, and it's good enough to just stay on her. But the fact that she then has the continuous recast, some extra light damage, mind, and it's a great staff. So if you spent money, grab the staff. Cool. Well, if you spent enough money, obviously. If you did the basic step up, you won't have enough. But that's the thing. Her robe, give a free revive to herself. As we talk about with all her damage reduction, I don't think she's going to get to use this much. I don't think she's going to be dying. Just frankly, I think she's going to live. She's going to be fine in most cases, but, fine. There's no MP on it, which is a bit yikes for me. Silence and stun resist, that's good. Unable to feint from enemy attacks, so feint immunity, that's really good. There's not many things that'll do that. No attribute attack damage taken, minus 25%. That's beyond niche. I don't understand. Okay. Sure. No attribute
Would
attack.
have been really good if it was just damage
If
taken.
it was just damage or physical damage or something. If that just said physical damage taken minus 20%, not even 25, but just like 20%, even 15%, I'd be like, okay, this is a tempting piece. As it is, though, like, at best, it'll help you against 2B in Arena. 2B is pretty meta.
And Kraken, too. That little
his
thing that it does.
Yeah, his rain thing for some reason is neutral instead of
No,
ice.
yeah.
That's very strange.
But,
yep,
it's
a thing.
itis. It's cool.
Yep. So yeah, this is just fine. I would definitely not go out of your way to get it. If you have enough to only get one item, I would get the staff for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure. It wouldn't hurt to get this. This is still a pretty good piece. Like I definitely don't think that it's bad. So like if you wailed on this stuff, like still pick it up. Over like a prism probably. I think that's fair. But yeah, good stuff. Now that we're in here, we got new event. New Year's event is here, which means we have a whole lot of shit to grind, which is cool. So how about I take a look at some of the crap that's in here right away. Miscellaneous gear and stuff. I've already brought some, so I'll have to scroll down. But we have a lot of good stuff that we can grab from this event for free, which is really nice. So yeah, before I move on to that, is there anything else you want to talk about with new unit stuff, Jaw? Since I'm kind of
her paid?
Yeah, with her paid or anything else to do with her. Period.
Not really. No, I think we've pretty much covered what. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
Nice. Okay. Then let's go ahead and talk about. Actually, before I do the new event, I know I'm very scatterbrained. I apologize. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional content creator, clearly. Let's talk about all the other. Let's talk about all the other gotchas that we got and like ways you can spend your gems, since that's kind of along the same line as Sarah. So we got the $100 UR banner. This has been a generally a fan favorite overall. We've seen this for anniversaries, the half anniversaries. This is obviously going to be
Mm-hmm.
a mainstay. It prints money for Ada, so they're going to keep doing it. They did it a little bit differently this time. But in general, the TLDR is that you can spend $100 for a $100 pack, which gives you exactly enough paid gems for this. It also gives you a bunch of free gems, like I think an equivalent amount. I think you also get 3,600 free gems. Oh, 6,000. So you get 2 spins on whatever else you want for that $100. Then what this gets you is you get 3 10 spins, which on a new account, really great, can help you get a bunch of general pool arcs. And then you also get this spin here, which is just super great, basically. Oh, I gotta do the thing where I pull it up and then people have to be able to see stuff. All right, hold up. Hold on. We're going to do this so that people can see what's going on. No, we're not. It's not worth my time. I'm sorry. We'll just talk about it. Basically, this pool within this spin, it only has SSRs and above in it. It removes all the R and SR stuff, and it guarantees you 1 unit and 1 UR. So if you have no URs on your account, you definitely get one. And some of them really, really change what you can do in your game and on your account. The hero, you could get a bunch of old, you could get an old unit that really sucks. You could get, somebody really new that you really want. You get Theria off this. You could get Sarah off of it. They've got a bunch here in the background. Traditionally, it's been kind of hard to get exactly what you want because, the pool's so diluted with things. They decided to do something a little different this time, and I've heard very mixed reviews from people. Some people are upset they did this. They're just like, they're just so money hungry. This is such a scummy thing for them to do, splitting it out into 2 banners. But basically, they split this up so that half of the units are in one and the URs, and then half of the other units and URs are in a different one. Now, this is a little bit mixed. If you just need anything, you have to kind of pick and sort of cater towards which one you want to be in. The good thing about that is, like, if you really want Great War of Ruin, for example, you come over to this one. There's 5 in this one, I believe. So you have a 20% chance of getting the one that you want. If it was all on one banner, there's a total of 9. You have much lower chances of getting the one that you want. So this gives you
Mm-hmm.
better odds of getting the thing that you want. Or like in my case, I have two or three URs right now. Some of the only ones that I need are like Kagasuchi, Luxeus. Here, I'll just come over here because I can look at this list. I have Kagasuchi, but I don't have Luxeus, I don't have Council, and I don't have Theo. So I have a 25% chance of getting shafted and getting a duplicate. Whereas normally I'd have much worse odds than that. So 75% chance I get something new if I were to do this. So I don't think it's that bad. But if you just want to roll the dice and just be like, oh, I'll get whatever I get, and I could have a chance of getting Great War of Ruin and Luxeus in the old way, and you can't do that now. So like if you need specifically Luxeus, or say you really want Theo and you want Great War of Ruin, well, you could have gotten them in the same pool before. Now you could spend
Yeah.
$200 and you could get both of them if you want. But you'll have better odds in each of getting the one that you want. So, I don't know. I think that it's fine overall. People can kind of more specifically go after the thing that they want, but I can understand criticisms on the other side. How do you feel about
Yeah.
them changing it?
I understand where the criticism would come in, and I mean, it's fair. But at the same time, like for me, in my case, like on this banner, I don't have. I have I have council. I've got lug, but I don't have Sheeta. I don't have Skyle. I don't have Lug's arc. I don't have Kagu. So this, for me personally, if I was to do the 9600 paid, this would definitely be better for me because if everything was if it was just one pool, then I would definitely get pretty shafted. But
Yeah.
like since they split it up, I'm fine with this. But then
Yeah.
again, it's probably just because the way my account just so
Exactly.
happens to be set up.
Yeah. So
So
I think what that does, though, that I think is a good thing, is if this is something that they are going to continue doing and they make it so that the pools are split differently every time they run it, it means that people can expect this to be the case. And watch for the next one of like, oh, how are they going to split things up? Maybe this one will be advantageous to my account. Because I could definitely see some accounts this is just bad for, but there's others where
Right.
yours and mine, one of these is significantly better than the other banner. And for other people, the
Hmm.
other one for Great War of Ruin, this could be a much better thing for you, you know? So, yeah, if they continue this trend and they constantly cycle what's in each batch, I think it could make it more tempting for people and much easier for people to actually get things that they want instead of getting shafted. So, overall, I like it, but it
I
is what
like
it
it as
is.
well. Yeah.
Oh,
But I
hey.
understand where the criticism comes.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we get 250 free summons. Baller, dude. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Have you
great.
got anything from this?
No. All mine have been bad so
No.
far. Yeah. I don't even know if I've gotten one SSR on my 4 that I've done so far on my main. It's really bad.
I've gotten one of these gave me a dupe. I got three SSRs. I got a dupe, Shift Goroth, some two other random arcs, but I haven't got anything new. But I have gotten like three SSRs in one of the free multis.
Nice. I think my alt also hasn't had much luck, but I think I got one new arc off of the 4 rolls that I've done so far. Otherwise, I think I've gotten all blues and golds. But at the same time, though, new accounts, like, this is just so good because it also helps you really easily get your ether progress up. So, like, if you're
Oh
working,
yeah.
so if you're really slowly working on getting, like, Rad Moon and Cultist Pendant and crap like that, like, this, over the next 25 days, is going to be massive. And, like, you're going to
Yeah,
get new shit.
huge.
You're going to get new shit for sure. Like, no better time to start a new account than right now because this is a great way to set things up. Like, we don't get this type of stuff often. I think 250, in fact, is probably the most we've ever seen. Like, I think we've gotten like 10 before, like 200 maybe. I think we've had before. I
Yeah, I
think
think
250
200.
is a new record, but yeah. We've
300
got
win.
we've got this unit guaranteed 10 spin. I've seen people say for new accounts this is really good. I'm kind of 50-50 on this. Like, it has DOH units, so you could hit something really good. But at the end of the day, this is a regular spin that includes DOH units. And, like, you're guaranteed a unit, yes. But, like, any of a huge pool of diluted units. So, I don't know. I feel like
Mm,
there's
this is
maybe 10 to 20 things you want to hit out of, like, a lot.
yeah. I don't think this is worth.
Yeah, in general, I think
In my opinion, I don't think
yeah,
it's worth.
I tend to feel the same. I feel like if you don't have much on your account, like, I think the people this is for is like if you started an account and you weren't following Discord and socials, and like you're probably not watching this podcast. Maybe you don't know what to re-roll for, and you started and you're posting things on Reddit like, "Hey, what team should I use?" And people are like, "Bro, you should re-roll." And they're like, "But I already started. I thought these characters were cool." No, they are really trash, man. Like, you don't have much of anybody good, or maybe you have like one good unit, but you don't have a good support or a good mage, or you need an extra sub DPS. Like, I think if you rolled on this 3 times, odds of getting something that would actually be useful to your account in that context probably decently high. So maybe, but other than that, eh, eh, not a fan. They could have just made this cost like 2,000 instead of 3,000, and then it'd be much more tempting. You know,
Yeah,
I
three.
thought
Yeah,
I thought before they had like a guaranteed unit thing that was like a lot cheaper. Like, it costed like 1,000 to spin instead of 3,000. So it was just like, oh yeah,
uh,
you're always gonna do this. Or is there
no, I
something
know what you're
else?
talking about. It was 3K, and it was also 3 times. Actually, I think it was the same thing.
Was
Just
it? Okay.
I'm
Because
pretty sure it's the same thing, just completely different,
okay, yeah,
like different names or whatever.
I guess I don't know why this
I
feels
feel like it was the
different.
same.
Okay, all right. I don't know why this feels different because that felt like an auto spin back then. But maybe I was just really dumb. Like, that's very
Because
possible.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, because that's when I got Sage Zekas and then AOG Lily
Yeah.
on one of the multis or whatever.
Nice.
But yeah,
Cool. All right. Moving right along. Sarah, obviously, we already talked about her. And then, super cool thing. Throughout the event, as well as login bonuses and things, we are getting New Year gotcha tickets. Now, These are basically generic pool things, generic pool tickets where there's nothing rated up. However, it includes all DOH units and all UR arcs at the same rate as all the SSRs. They're not even rated down, so
Ooh.
they're all identical on the actual rates, which I can pull up real quick just to say for certain exactly what those values are.
And
But
while
yeah,
you do that, I'm gonna be professional and go use the gentleman's room.
sure. Yeah, 0.086% chance on all SSR and UR arcs. So that's pretty great. Let's catch up with chat real quick. How's everybody doing? It's better for people who got any URs. Um, if you got an old DOH, you can farm 100 gems, leveling them up fast. Yeah, true, true. You can get a bunch of gems just by leveling people. Fair. I mean, hey, every unit you get in general, that's 1,000 extra gems that you can use to pull some more yellow and blue circles. Awesome. Nailed it. Let's go ahead and refill this. I'm also very professional. Drinking on the job. How's everybody's New Year's going, by the way? Everybody having a good time? Do anything fun?
All right, ISB back.
Look, our boy be back. Nice. All right. So yeah, this one's really, really great. You could randomly get a UR. So far, none of them have netted me anything. But yeah, watch all the shops for any of these like silvery rainbow looking tickets. Buy all the ones you can. You never know, you might just get a UR. I know some people in the Discord have had some really good luck. And you could too. So it's just free stuff. Good, good, good. So last thing I want to talk about with the gacha stuff is some of the things that are in the shop, because they did add some little bit of some different things. 300 paid guaranteed unit. This isn't too bad. This includes DOH stuff. So yeah, you have a chance of just getting a good unit. It doesn't cost that much. You get 400 paid for like $4, I think. Or you get like 300 and some change. So enough for this. So this is basically $4 to get a unit. So you get a chance at getting a unit that you want. Not bad. If you really, really like to pay, there's some UR stuff here, which is cool. So you can get some UR dust, and then also a guaranteed hero, as well as just a 10 spin in general of that rainbow banner. So again, that could have UR stuff in it. I don't think any of the rest of the stuff really matters. If you're a paid player, you're not going to need the stuff, but UR dust is nice. This other one is bigger. It just comes with an extra UR dust. You're basically just paying a bunch more for an extra UR dust at the end of the day. None of the other stuff really matters. This stuff on my alt account I actually bought. One, don't forget to get your free set. Those are cool. Oh, I can't even click on these. But basically what we have is for 2,000 you get a 10 spin, as well as I think it was like 3 SR dust. So like on a new account when you're trying to build up Beast Hunter.
5.
You get 5? Oh, even better.
It's
I knew there was a
5
reason I
SR
got
dust.
it. But for 2,000, this is, it's 1k gems cheaper. It's only general pool, so you can't get other stuff. But when you just need a bunch of arcs, like on my new account, it's good. And then this bargain set, so this is 4,000. This gives you 1 general pool ticket with a guaranteed SSR arc. Again, on a new account, really great. SSR Stardust, which could be used for upgrading an arc skill of like March, or upgrading the multiplier on dual wield for somebody so that you can teach stuff from Sandworm better, But this also comes with a 10 spin on the New Year banner that could have the URs in it. So for 4,000, you get effectively 6,000 gems worth of stuff, and this is unpaid. So I do think this one's pretty worth. Assuming you still need stuff from from the general pool. So like, I'm not going to get this on my main account, but for a fresher account, it's solid. It's a good value in my opinion. So nice. All right. I don't think I have anything more to say on some of the gacha stuff. I think that's fine. We didn't get the super friend gacha, so keep hoarding your friend points. It's not time to spend yet.
Not yet.
Just keep that in mind. We'll get there eventually. Also, a little tip for people that I didn't actually know: when that super friend gotcha is going on, you actually collect extra from your friends, and these don't disappear for 2 months. So just don't collect ever. Just don't collect and just hoard these. Just hoard all this crap until the stuff comes around, and then you'll get a bunch more later. So I'll just come in, I'll gift people because you only have to gift anyway for your daily reward, and just save all this stuff until the friend reward comes around, like the super friend gotcha. So
Also, not that you should do it, but you can also ask for New Year medals. Just if you really
oh
want
sure,
medals,
yeah, I
but
totally
I wouldn't
yeah.
recommend to do that.
I mean, New Year medal's pretty good though, but yeah, that's a good
I
thing
mean,
to
it's one.
it's a good thing to point out. Yeah, so it's not great,
It's no. You could
but
easily farm more than you can get gifted. So,
but
but I
what?
thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, but what are we gonna do for with New Year medals? Oh hey, there's stuff we can buy. Cool. New Year medals. How do we get them? We're gonna see they brought back Event Island. At least I'm calling it Event Island, because we had this event I think for Halloween, and I think we had it for a different time too, right? Or was Halloween the first time we got this special island?
Pretty sure it was just Halloween.
Okay, cool. But it seems like since they brought it back for New Year's, I'm assuming we're going to see this as a recurring thing where when we have special events, this event island's going to come back and have this great quality of life stages that we can run, which we'll get into. But I love when we have this. I think the island's really great. There's a lot of really high value stuff that we can spend our time farming, which is really nice. But there's some gear in here that we could get from past events and are coming back for people, which is really, really nice. It was really great to see a UR dust available.
Yeah, that surprised me a
That's
lot.
a hot commodity. We've asked the devs to give us more opportunities for it, so I mean they've given us a little bit. This
Hmm.
here, if you were just started and you weren't here for the Secret of Mana or the Trials collab, maybe you don't have an accessory that gives you a plus 20% XP. You can get this now. You can put that on a unit for free. So that means you don't have to run XP up 2 on somebody, which means you don't need a level 10 skill taught to somebody to get that effect, which is nice. Healing magic power up, cool. You can get a bunch of this stuff from farming multiplayer, which is really nice, including some Godforge stuff. Like this is enough to make one of each of the various spheres in their respective categories, so that can save you
Pretty
some
great,
time.
to be honest.
Yeah, it's nice. That's a good time saver, especially since you farm these metals by just clearing anything. You'll get more from stuff on Event
Just
Island.
auto farming,
But
bro.
yeah, just auto farming. You get like 2 or 3 of these on a stage clear. So just farming IGC3. Or for me, like I've started recently farming the like Origins stage for Magic Tomes. You get to farm these while you're farming that too, which is really awesome. So
Hmm.
yeah, good stuff.
It's unfortunate that there's no stage how in the past where like they would give more. Like for instance, Jala would give more, or
Yeah, that was
a certain
ridiculous.
stage.
Yeah, to be fair, that was so broken though.
Yeah,
Because
that made the farm
yeah,
super quick.
yeah, before there was randomly like 3 stages that on completion gave you like 50, so you could just auto farm
Hmm.
them, and in like 2 days you could have the shop cleared out with a surplus of like 10,000 coins.
Yeah,
It was
it
ridiculous.
was great.
This definitely
So,
feels
but
much.
now all the stages only give, even the god ones, they only give
Yeah,
two.
yeah. So this feels much more balanced now, but still, like even with it being like normalized, if you farm, if you auto farm at all, you're gonna probably clear out the shop pretty easily. I think over the
Yeah,
course of
it's
the
still doable.
25 days we have this, like you're gonna
Yeah.
be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Hmm.
So yeah, you should be able to clear this out if you don't auto farm, because I know some people have phones that just get fried or they don't have a PC or whatever. Well, rip, sucks to be you. I'm sorry. There's, I guess you're not gonna
Nice,
pick.
nice one.
And I mean, look at what you really need and really hard focus on what you need and make sure to get that. There are other sources that you get them from. Like every time you do the free 10 pull, you get 100 medals off this too. So you do get medals here. This is a source. So by the end of this, you're going to have 2,500 of them free. So if you don't auto farm, just make sure that you're budgeting your stuff appropriately. I would make sure to get the UR dust at the very least. That's pretty high ticket. You just don't see them much. Even if you don't have a UR, eventually if you stick with the game, you might, and you're going to be grateful to have them. So I think that's the most valuable thing to get out of that shop, personally. Let's see, other stuff out of the shop. There's some
They got
dusts.
New Year gotcha tickets times 11. That's free multi right there. Look at that.
Yep, absolutely. With chances at URs, it's a thing. Clear them all out.
Mm-hmm.
Got some new armor, which neat. I guess. It's some armor. It's got some HP. It's got some damage reduction. It's
Oh, you're talking
something.
about the. Oh, you're talking about that event. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought we were still on the
Oh,
New Year's medals.
I'm sorry. Is there more to the New Year's medals than stuff that was there? Yeah, I guess I forgot to let's come down see what else I missed. Oh, just like the XP up item, the Zell up item is here too. So if you don't have Gold Rush, that's a thing.
And then
Um,
that one little accessory that does a random thing, but it's actually a good stat stick.
yeah, it's a good stat stick. I can't wait to see the data mine on what it is, like if it matters or if it's just like, oh,
Oh no, it doesn't matter.
you
They've already Lake's already done it.
oh, okay. What does it actually do? Is it just
Yeah,
like, oh, you have a chance at
it does
having
a
strength up or
tons
strength
of
down?
things.
Oh, okay.
No, it's like it can do a bunch of things, but the chances to do them, it's like 1% to do four things, 4% to do three things, 5% to do four things. It's not worth it.
Well, yeah.
You're really only going to use it for the HP
Well,
and the
yeah, but
MP.
my question is like, what's the probability of getting
Oh.
fucked by it, and how hard do you get fucked? That's what I care about. Like, is there a chance where like it's actually really negative? Because as a stat stick, getting 700 HP and 50 MP, along with a little bit of light and dark resistance, really good. But this small chance for bad things to happen, I just want to know how bad that is. Do I have like a 5% chance of instant incapacitation?
Oh,
You know,
here it
like
is. Here, let me read it out to you.
let's do it.
Okay, so Wave Star activate the following effects to self. Grant one of the following buffs to self: plus 20% SDR, plus 20% defense, plus 20% int, or plus 20% mind. So for 40 seconds. So that's at Wave Start. And then the other things: 1% chance to inflict stun. Not sure if that's to them or to you.
To you,
Uh,
probably.
2% chance to also grant a minus 35% physical damage received buff for 40 seconds. 3% chance to also randomly grant one of the following buffs: minus 20% STR, minus 20% defense, minus 20% int, and minus 20% mind. So 3% chance to grant one of those. 6% chance to randomly grant one of the following buffs: plus 35% STR, defense, int, or mind.
Okay.
And the stun is to you, not to the enemy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, so it sounds like by when you read that, it said percentage chance to and do this thing. So it almost sounds like
Yes.
kind of like when you have like multiple researches or multiple steal chances, like they're all independent chances. So if crazy RNG happened, you could technically have all those effects go off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I reading that right? Okay, yeah. That's kind of fun. But like it sounds like the worst thing that could happen is 1% chance to stun yourself, which like that's going to be pretty rare.
Yeah.
And you could just build stun resist too, which in some fights you're just going to anyway, so yeah. Cool. Sounds like a very worthwhile stat stick. I like it for basically free. So
Oh wait, now I'm understanding your question. No, it's not they're not individual. It's just the percentage is to activate one of those things.
oh, okay. So if we added up all the percentages, it's 100% total? Or is there a percentage or is there a chance that just nothing happens?
When you what? Now you're confusing me, sir.
Okay. So there's two ways that it could work. It could be it's basically a wheel and there's a chance that any of these things could happen and RNG happens and each of the pies on the wheel are a different size based on the percentages you just read off. And at wave start, one of those things happens. Or it's where each of them has a percentage chance and on wave start it basically decides based on the percentage of each individual instance, are you going to happen? Yes or no. Are you going to happen? Yes or no. Are you going to happen? Yes or no. And all the things could happen, none of the things could happen, three of the things could happen. Like, I assume it works one of those two ways.
So, at Wave Start, you get 100% chance to get either plus 20% SDR, defense, int,
so
or
it's
mind.
one thing.
That's
cool.
Yeah, one thing.
Cool.
And then everything else is 1%, like 1% chance to inflict stun on you. That's, and then 2% chance to also grant a minus 35% damage received. That's its own thing. 3% chance to also randomly grant one of the following minus 20% STR defense int or mind, it's the 3% chance to grant one of them. It's not
Nice.
3% chance for this,
Yeah.
this, and
Cool.
this.
Beautiful. Sounds good. Either way, sounds pretty great. Good stat stick. So this is the island. Anybody that hasn't seen it, Event Island, pretty cool. We get some extra soul spots to help out with some of that soul income is really nice. We get a bunch of daily completion stuff that's just super nice, especially if you're on a new account, but for old accounts too. One every day, you get some free skill dungeons. This is the big skill dungeon times 40. You get the super soul accumulation, so this is 50 souls to any unit you want every day. Really great. And then a big skill training one for XP. A lot of people are always hard up for XP. This gives you, if you have an XP up source, such as the little Ray keychain that we just looked at, this gives you a little over 400k for an individual unit. So if you're only running one unit, if you happen to have Sarah, she's got a plus 100% multiplier on that, so you get over 800k per run. So 3 times a day, you get all of that. 2.4 million. 2.4 million
And
every day.
and there's zero cost.
And they're zero cost. They don't cost you any energy. So this is just free real estate. Come get it. Yeah, good to point out.
Yep.
Thank you. So that's excellent. Ability Tower. Every day you get 5 plays of any ones of these you need. This is massive. I don't have a thief on my account yet, on my alt account. So on my new account, I'm not working with anything that can steal. I can come in here, and when I was trying to build Sarah, I was like, oh shit, I have no purple crystals. I guess I'll come in and do this. One run without a thief was giving me 90 to 100 purple crystals. So like these like regular ones. Crazy.
Again, zero cost too.
Zero cost. Just make sure you're doing these every day. This is huge, especially for just building up your characters. Like, run the ones that you need. Especially Rainbow's hard to get. You get like 3 to 5 rainbow clusters every time you run this thing. That's what I'm going to be running when we're off the podcast. When you're on a new account, so big, so huge. This one for existing players is really huge. We got this before. These are basically the equivalent of our multiplayer stages for limit break bosses, like the god mode ones, but you run them as solo, and they've got increased drop rates on this stuff. So it's pretty common to get one of these big drops every run with a reasonable odds of just getting 2. Like, and these only cost 1 to run every time. So it's half the cost with significantly higher odds. You can just run by yourself. So
Yeah.
for me, I just put on autoplay. I built, I have Yashimaru on a crit skill build, and then Maja to just clear stuff if for some reason he's not clearing quick enough. He dashes in, steals stuff, clears the wave. I'll let my phone sit for a minute or two, and then I'll just come back, start the next one until I burn through all my stuff. And then eventually, you end up with a whole bunch of these things. I'm on my alt account, so it doesn't look like very much now. I actually need a bunch of those because I need to E5 my Sarah. But on my main account, the last time this was here, I got like over 50 of each of those big ones, and I haven't run out yet. It's lasted me until this one, and now I can stock up even more. So I highly recommend, if you're annoyed with running the limit break things, you can come and get them. I'll say it's probably less, it's technically probably less valuable now since they got rid of HP lock, so they're a little, like, they're not as painful to farm limit breaks. But it means you can spend more time farming Godforge. So, yeah, good stuff. Stock up and shit.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
There's also in the Port Sun vessel, if you haven't visited there, you can exchange 22 coins for the Shogatsu fishing rod, which then opens up this fishing spot, the New Year special fishing spot. If you get all the fish there, if you go to archive, if you fill it, you get 100 mother souls, and then if you do the big catch, you get 3 of the New Year gacha tickets. Which honestly, it's not that hard to get the big crowns. So you should you should definitely do this. I'm pretty opposed to going for the big catches, but the rate for them is actually really high. It took me about 2 hours to get all of this done.
Yep.
And then in that time that it took me to get the big catches, I accumulated enough of the rare fish to then go into the exchange shop in the Port Sun vessel to exchange for the God spheres. That's huge. Being able to get these for fishing That's incredible.
Yeah. So for
That's
context,
such high value.
for anybody that hasn't made one of these god spheres, to craft the base of like some of these really strong, I think it's the level 8 URs basically, right? Um, or the level 8 God Forge gear. You need to
Hmm.
have these things, which combines uh, two of each of these of the other sub Godforge boss uh, types. Which to make those, you need five of the given boss. So you need 10 of three different bosses. So 10 of the rare drops from each boss in order to make one of these things. And those are not guaranteed by any means. Um,
No.
so like it's a lot of farming that gets saved by running this. For me, my experience with the fishing was I did this on my alt, and as you can see, I filled out the whatever the hell it's called, the basic catches, and I think I only took like 20 minutes, half hour to get that done, basically. In that time, I didn't get any big catches. However, over on my main account, I went for maybe 2 hours, about the same as you,
Hmm.
and I got all the big catches. I will say it was a little annoying. For a while, it was like 10 fish in a row was a big catch of a lonely whale. I felt like Adis was just trolling me, trying to tell me something.
Yo, same here. Same
Like,
here.
so many lonely whales that were big catches. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I agree. It definitely did not feel too bad to get it. The only thing that I guess was kind of annoying was by the time that I finally got all those big catches, I basically had. I don't think I quite had enough for one of these. Like I was a little bit short and I needed to go fish for another like 10 minutes. And then I got enough to get the first one of these. Which means if
Hmm.
you want to go buy all four of these, like it's going to be a few hours. But like if you did fishing for like 4 or 5 hours and got all of these, it would take so much more time to get these naturally. So it's very worth to just go and fish for a while. If you figured 2 hours roughly per god soul or for god's per god sphere, that's a way better rate than what it would cost you to make those naturally.
Yeah.
2 hours
That
wouldn't get
that
you even
yep.
close. Not even close.
Nope.
That might be enough to make you like one or two of the materials that you need six of for. So,
So
yeah,
needless to say, these are incredibly high value for just fishing.
yeah.
Just
So
fishing.
if you're good at the Pokemon mini game of catching fish, you'll do just fine here. Go do it. It's worthwhile. It's free real estate.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, good stuff. I will say, speaking of Godforge, I didn't see this in the patch notes because I don't pay attention because I'm a scrub that doesn't know what
What?
he's doing. Something that has felt pretty nice. They gave us drop rates up for this event too. So if you do go in to farm the Godforge, all these are rated up right now, and it does feel pretty noticeable. Like I very commonly get one per run. Oftentimes I can get two or three. So like
Ooh.
it's very rare I don't get at least one. So yeah, this feels really good. And minus soul use is always nice too, especially on newer accounts that really value those souls. So
Maybe now I'll start doing Godforge.
maybe definitely here's a time to farm it for sure. So
Hmm. Yeah.
get it done, man. Definitely. Somebody else said that it only
Then
took 30 minutes to get all their big catches. Cool. RNG is
30
RNG.
minutes. What? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how it goes. Like I said, I got all of my catches before with my other one and zero big catches, but then on my main one, it didn't feel like it took me long at all to get all the big catches. Maybe an hour or less. Are
It is,
are you talking about fishing? Maybe he's talking about fishing enough in order to get like one of the god spheres. Like if you did enough fishing to get it like 1,000 coins in 2 hours, that's pretty impressive. I don't think it's that fast by any means, but I don't know. Maybe I'm bad at fishing.
wait,
maybe
what?
my
What?
maybe
Me?
my RNG.
Me?
No, Jesse in chat said 2 hours. It only took
Uh,
me 30 minutes. And I had said 2 hours to get a god sphere, so I'm wondering if that's what he was talking about. Was took roughly 30 minutes of farming per god sphere for the fishing rewards.
oh.
Which, if that's the
Oh, I
case, it would
see.
be really crazy. I think you need pretty good RNG for that, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for
It's
me, it just took
possible,
me
but
2 hours to get everything, all the fishes, big catches, and then clear out the shop.
okay. So in 2 hours, you got all the god spheres.
Yeah, in 2 hours, I got all the God
Okay, well
Spheres.
that would check out with what Jesse said. So, oh, all the big catches. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's what he was talking about. Well,
Oh, okay.
it sounds
Yeah.
like your fishing in general went better than mine anyway. So you got some of the higher, more of the higher value stuff. But either
Bro, I
way,
kept getting that one final fish that was like worth 70 coins. I kept on getting that
oh,
one
okay,
instead of,
nice.
and I was missing like that 2-star big catch. I was like, what the hell? Just give me that instead of this big
Nice,
one.
nice. Well, it worked out in the end. But yeah, so
Yeah, it
your
did.
mileage may vary, but worst case, you farm for like say 5 hours, you're probably going to be able to clear it out, and that's way higher value than going and trying to Godforge the stuff yourself. So yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. Although it's only one, it's still pretty
yeah,
significant
it's
that you
still
get one free one.
still something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Make sure to get stuff from around the map for anybody that hasn't gotten it. What they did with the event island before, and it seems like they're doing now, is as days go on, they're adding more hidden stuff to the map. So just be sure to come in and just check it out. Yesterday, I think it was, they added boats, so we get every tome for free. There was one like here, and then I think the other ones were like down here, 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 something like that. So one of each of the four colored tomes for E5 unlocks were free. And then there was also like an aerial drone that flies through the map. Like there's one here, and then I think there's one here. And you can click on it, you can fight it, and that's where two of the New Year stamps for multiplayer are.
Oh yeah.
So make sure to go get those done as well. I'm guessing as time goes on over the next 20, 25 days, whatever for this event, we're probably going to get more things hidden in here. Maybe some
I
things,
hope so.
yeah, maybe some chests here. Maybe some Sahagins or some more ships are going to show up. So just be sure to come in and check, or occasionally check Discord or whatever. I'm sure some people will be talking about whenever there's new crap getting added. So be sure to do that. Um, yeah. Then we have
Mm,
this Port City Lockham store as well. There's another place that you can use these coins. These are coins that you get from farming the main event, which, oh god, there's just so much here. I keep forgetting about stuff. So if you need anything with these coins, come get what you need. There's mega clusters, regular clusters, crystals. There's a lot of really good stuff. Super high value. Magic tomes cost one, and there's 40 of them here. Especially on new
yeah, I saw
accounts,
that.
when you can't farm them
Hmm.
normally very well on new accounts. Do this. Massive. Very, very massive. So yeah, this shop's really great. I'm pretty sure this stuff here is actually cheaper than the main event page. So if we came in here to look at some of these, which also there's radiances here. Those are good high ticket items to grab, especially Radiance of the World. So make sure to grab Radiances. A lot of new players, especially. I usually see asking questions about where do I get this stuff to E5 my character. Here's one of the
Hmm.
sources. Check the shop. Regular lights,
I
which
was
some people need.
I was clearing out the shop that you were just talking about, or the port vessel, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, the Luckhome. Sorry. And then I was looking at the stuff that I hadn't gotten, and I think for the most part, in the ability tower, I think I'm just gonna run the Rainbow Gate to be honest, because I feel I've been feeling like you, Zero. I've been getting hit on my rainbow clusters,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna do that.
Well, and the thing about rainbow clusters is like all the other ones, you can use alchemy to convert your greens and blues over. Rainbows, you can't.
Hmm.
Rainbows, you just need
Right.
rainbows. So, yeah, you can craft 5 clusters a day technically, but you still need enough regular crystals to support it. So I think end game players probably rainbow is what they're going to be farming. Definitely makes the most sense. Um, I suppose there's also this event here. This is the actual main thing that you'd run if you don't have anything else to do. Bonus challenge, do that every day. That's going to give you, I don't remember. Oh, right. It gives you chance at all sorts of random drops. I know I've gotten mega clusters off of this, but you can get like anything off of here.
Can
But
you continuously steal from it, or is it just one thing that it drops?
I guess
I haven't tested it.
I've never tested, but I just assume it's one because it's always one usually.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I guess.
Like if you just brought Yasha and just tried to continuously steal.
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I mean, it would probably die though. It's pretty weak, so I don't
That's
know.
true.
Um, my general feeling on this is, well, let's go ahead and run it first, just so that people can kind of see what's going on here. It's kind of a fun one. They like to do this with some of these events, giving us things that take like 1 damage, but then are also really, really fast. So
They
if
zoom across the map.
yeah, it's this little drone that flies around and does stuff. You just have to catch it and chase it, kill it. So anything that is, oh god, the frames, holy crap, Jesus, that is gross. Yeah, so obviously it zips around, makes it hard to hit, but I mean, when you have things that auto lock on, it hits anyway, and it's just fine. So that it actually dropped two things on death there, which was interesting. So we should have 3 drops, I think, because I beast huntered the first one. 4 drops total. Cool. Oh yeah, because we get the one here, and then we got the 2 drops off that. 1 stealable drop got us extra coins. This is the stuff we use out of the shop. So the main reason to run it is for that. You get a little bit of event points. This is kind of rough though. These event points. I don't think this event for most people is going to be worth trying to go for event points in the actual thing unless you have Sarah. Sarah's the only plus 100. I think everybody else is 20%, which isn't enough to make this not painful.
Oh yeah,
So like you
that's
can
gonna
get
be a pain.
1500. I can get 1500 because I have Sarah, but on my alt account, it's like 700, which kind of sucks.
Yeah,
It's pretty poor overall. So like we can take a look at some of the rewards. They're not bad rewards, but I think that you're probably better off just like farming Godforge when you're an end game player. Like if you don't have Sarah or whatever.
yeah.
If
I
you're a new
agree.
account and you have Sarah like coming in and okay, so every couple of days that you or every couple of times that you run that stuff, you also get event progress I think from doing the other stages. So when you do your daily skill dungeons, things like that, I think you get incremental amounts of progress there too. But as far as farming the actual stage itself, I don't think it's that super worth. There's one item, which items are usually the thing that I go for, and I'm like, ooh, I need to get this stuff just so if they're ever good, it's a thing. It's just worse music box. Battlestar,
Oh,
you get one to
the
five
MP
MP.
thing.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is not going to hurt your account if you miss it. So like, I don't really care. There's decent stuff here. There's a radiance. There's, you know,
but completion is sake though.
yeah, like you can do it. It's not bad. If you have Sarah, it's much easier. Like I said, then you can come in here. You can do
Hmm.
this after hours training. I'm not going to do it. I'm sure it's worth more than the 1500, but still, with Sarah, it feels much better. When you're not having Sarah, kind of sucks. I'm not a fan.
Just pull Sarah forehead, easy.
How am I going to do that with the 2 gems on my main account?
You got bro. I got 96.
Oh man, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, cool. Well, I mean, I think that's mostly it. Is there anything else that we got with this event that's really important?
um, no, not really. I mean, they brought Tower back, so
Oh
go do
yeah,
Tower, I guess.
yeah. Go do tower. Nothing special though. Standard tower.
No,
Uh, that was just a cutscene. I didn't need to click that. Yeah, yeah. Nothing else special. So that's pretty much it. That's what we got. Oh hey, go watch the story so you can get 3,000 gems and a New Year sticker. I didn't do that apparently.
yeah, and then blow them all on Sarah and get nothing.
Yep, that's right. I got Sarah on
Definitely,
my ult. We're good.
definitely didn't do that myself.
Cool. All right. Well, do you have any New Year's resolutions
Me?
for life or for Last Cloudia? Since nobody cares about
Mm,
you as a person.
oh, oh shit.
Oh, got him, got him. No, I'm kidding.
Um, for Last Claudia, honestly, there's okay. So there is one thing that I should be trying to do, and I should probably like take my own advice, and that I tell a lot of people to don't pull if you don't need them. But I myself do not do that. Like for Sarah,
Same.
I don't need her. But if I got gems, you bet your sweet ass, I'm gonna just throw them at her, see if I get her.
I've done 2 pulls for
So
her and I don't need her at all.
yeah, so one thing it would be to not pull, like unless the unit is absolutely like a must pull.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and not to pull.
fair. That's pretty good.
What
That's
about
good.
you?
You know, I came up with the question without having an answer for myself.
Nice. Now fucking
That
come up with one.
that is a very good one. I will say, like my pull willpower is also pretty pitiful in general.
It's pretty poor. Yeah.
Yeah, it has gotten much better now that I have an alt account.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think my resolution is probably going to be, I think min-maxing my overall uh, time effectiveness and interfacing with the game. So like, have you ever heard of the 80-20 principle?
2080?
The sure 2080. I'm a
No.
no
Oh, you said
okay.
80/20.
Yeah, 80/20. Either way, you could say
Oh,
however you want. It's
no,
this
no, I have not heard
okay.
of it.
So it's this principle in like doing work, especially or projects in like a business sense or whatever that 80% of the things that you that are important and get you to your end goal are done with
Hmm.
20% of the work you do. The other 80% of the work you do is all the piddly like time sink stuff that's like trying to perfect things and like do just like the most monotonous bullshit to get like that extra 5% bonus, you know? And it's so easy to get lost in that
Ah,
type of stuff in Last Cloudia. And like when you can in life in doing a work project or whatever, like you could get if like I build websites for a living, you could get a website to a perfectly usable state that works really well in, 5 hours, 10 hours maybe. But that whole project might take you 50 hours to like make it perfect. You didn't need to spend 50 hours. You could have just made it good enough and then like
hmm.
cleaned up, like you get the most important shit done really quickly and then you can figure out where your high value stuff is, so you're not wasting time on little stupid shit. That's what the 80/20 principle is, and I think that in LC that could be a really big thing. Being able to just like, I get so obsessed with like, oh, I can go and do this thing and I want to make sure to not do that other thing, but like realistically I waste too much time in the game, especially having like a main and an alt. And I don't
Right.
feel too bad about being like capped on event orbs and stuff anymore, but like there's some times where I'll go and I'll be hanging out with my family or we'll be eating dinner and then I'll just like have my phone sitting off to the side and I'll just like tap some auto farm stuff. Oh, we'll just do that. And then like we'll be talking and I'll just be like, oh, we'll just start another auto farm. I probably don't need to do that shit. So like, you know, there's little gains that can be had, but like I don't need all of these little gains sometimes. There's plenty of big things I can do to make progress. I don't need to make as much progress and I could spend more time outside of it doing other stuff. Um, I've been
I
enjoying playing
see.
other games like Bloodborne lately, you know? I could just
Gotcha.
sit. I could sit and grind Godforge for 4 hours, or I could stream a different game, a real video game. Like, I want
So
to
we're so what
better hit my time.
what I'm understanding is that that you don't want to know life LC.
Kind of. Like I want to like maximize the time that I'm spending in it. Like I want to make sure that the things I'm doing are actually moving the needle, not like very mildly doing stuff. I don't want to spend
Gotcha.
on something that's going to give me 1% progress on something that's going to give me 5% more power, which is like kind of what a lot of endgame stuff is. So, not go super crazy on stuff. So
I feel that. I feel
my
that.
LC goal is to play less LC. It's TLDR.
Nice. I think one other one would probably be just to actually do, because I'm like so. It's not that I'm opposed to doing Godforge. I'm just too lazy to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to try and like at least make the weapons just so that I have them. Maybe not like
Yeah.
work super omega hard to plus 40 them, but just having them, I think is something that I'm gonna try and work towards too.
Good. Good. That sounds great. Super awesome. Um, yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, as a side note, the fishing stuff got me enough that I was able to get plus 40 on that new Fire Claw. So, Roy, real scary.
Ooh.
Roy, Omega
Oh
scary.
no. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna fight. I'm surprised you don't have him on your defense, to be
I'm
honest.
yeah, I didn't for a while just because it's fun to make bait teams where it's like if
Oh,
people
I got
see
baited.
yeah, if people see certain units like no Roy, no Lug, no whoever, they're just like, "Oh, this is an easy one." So
Right.
if they come in to fight you and they're like, "Oh, I didn't pay attention. I was letting my team auto farm and I just got clapped." Well, good. That was successful. That got me a win,
Hmm.
you know? So,
Yeah.
but I probably will bring
But
him back in because I have like having a
the
plus.
plus 40 clock, come on,
Yeah,
that shit's
I have a plus
amazing,
40
dude.
claw and plus 40,
40%?
and I have the plus 40 Kagu blade. So like not utilizing those in my defense, those are pretty big assets. So I should be utilizing them.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably will. I'll make some sort of team that just like keeps Roy alive at all costs, or makes it so that like there's an extra threat going on and like people have to not only keep him dead and make sure to puppy guard his respawn super duper hard or get really badly punished, um, or get killed by some other unit like XBet or something. So
Right.
because XBet, as a side note, has been doing crazy good in arena.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm using her. Yeah, it's
Dude,
pretty great.
I don't know
Pretty
what
great.
it is about her. I threw on like some, I think, relatively modest damage mitigation stuff, and she's
Hmm.
kind of a fucking tank. Like, I've seen some people going in trying to fight and like focus her down because they're like, oh, she's the main DPS here. Clearly, I don't have to worry about like Lance Vale or A2 or whoever I'm running at the time. And
Yeah.
they try to focus her down, and they try, and they just blow so many skills on her, and she's just like, I'm just chilling, just hanging out.
Huh.
And it takes so long for them to
Interesting.
kill people. I mean, there's some people that'll still nuke me. Like if Tweaks fights me, he's still gonna insta clap everything. But I guarantee he's on plus 40 Kagu, plus 40 Fireclaw. You know,
Right.
and like a super duper top tier build. But I've been noticing that there's these varying levels of like arena potency where like you could be using a team that instantly destroys most teams and is just really easy. Like just, oh, my Roy S3 kills everything, my Lug kills everything, my 2B kills everything. But if you go against the right teams that are trying to counter it, you fall on your face super hard. Because if you're not
Hmm.
overkilling things, you're not able to compensate for the people that know how to build against you. So it feels like when you try to make a stall team and you do it right, or you make a team that's tanky and then like has some counter aggressing elements like a Lance Vale or an A2, countering teams like that doesn't feel that hard, even though we're in a super nuke meta. It feels like only like the top 1 to 5% of players actually build hyper aggressive that can actually super kill you.
Right.
And if somebody is fighting you and they're just using somebody that's good enough, they're going to get surprised. They're going to get their shit pushed in. And it feels
Nice.
good.
Nice phrasing.
Yeah, it feels real good. Yeah, I need to make sure to keep it not family friendly. That's the brand.
Yeah. Okay. I see. But
Yeah. No
as for
monetization
the
here.
the update, I think we've pretty much covered everything, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. We're just
No.
sort of dragging stuff on at this point. So I'm good to go unless you had something else you wanted to talk about, man.
No, no, I think that's pretty much it.
Awesome. All right. Anything else to catch up on here that I didn't see? Looks like Zenset Suno said, I think that you had similar things you were talking about with playtime. That's why your playtime's so low. You need to do auto farms, though, man. Playtime should be high. You should do auto farms. That's the lazy way to
Oh,
play.
new story, right? New story's gonna come.
Yeah, yeah. Updates to come. New story going to be on the way. That'll be super great.
Hmm.
Which means more
More
crystals.
gems.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, that I can maybe hold on to for
yeah.
once.
More gems. Um, but yeah, everybody have fun. Have a great year. Hopefully, this year of LC is going to be even better than the last. I'm really happy with where the game's gotten to. There's been some ups and downs, but overall, I think this is definitely the best year that LC has had. I
Hmm.
mean,
Yep.
easily, you know. And yeah, hopefully, whatever goals you all set for yourselves, you will achieve those and keep fighting to make yourself better and do all the cool things in LC. So,
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Happy New Year.
May you set plenty of New Year's resolutions that you know you won't achieve, but at
True.
least you set them.
Yep. You tried. You tried. All right.